110 to be exact. So you have to zoom out really, really far for TSLA. Back into last year, I suppose. It did have at least one split in here, one for 30. I guess that wasn't one. But yeah, good luck. It is open back up. It is at the highs. It's up 100%. It's finally done over 1 million shares. So I guess it crosses all the T's and dots the I's for a small cap runner that the boys will be looking at. That is at PCLA. Similar to PCA. It's got the same juice that the NL MVP seems to bring to the table every single game. Gossman's going to love playing in front of that dude. He's like Willie Mays out in center field.
Yeah, I know, PCA.
The kid's a freak, but these stocks, they're only fun for a good time, not necessarily a long time. So be careful with them. You've seen them get nasty in the back half of the day before. We saw that multiple times on Friday. Some of them giving up 70, 80% retracements and closing lower than they did before. I'm not saying PCLA will, but it's something you want to keep aware of. We'll send you guys over to the Midday. Got Joey options. We got the professor, and we're going to have some mystery lunch. We'll see.
Friday's lunch was good.
Yeah, you didn't have it?
Boom, 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 boom. Boom, ba-da-dum. We're going to limit up, Assassino. It's going to limit up. PCLA knocking on the door of limit up, but boom. Greetings and salutations, beautiful people. Welcome to the Midday Show. There he is. Jokeris. He scored on the weekend.
Did he?
Yeah, he did. Arsenal lost 2 of their preseason games so far, but they don't have no defense.
That's all right. I'll never let you live it down because remember I was like, who is this guy? You're like, I don't know who that guy is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Figured it out. So,
Yeah.
and then we found out.
And then he came over to the good side.
Ooh, that's it. That's why.
Let's say hello to everybody in the chat while PCLA knocks on the door of limit up. 1944 limit up 135%. We got Tariq, we got Edgar, Scott, Britt, Daryl, Smith, Sharif, he yells out, Adam, James, Abroad's already yelling booms. Bovin is already yelling booms. Shout out to Andrew Chow, Travman, Rusty Shackles, JX, Huddle, I like that. Mac Daddy, 69,420. What the hell, bro? Take it easy over there.
Yeah,
I do like that, though. Ronaldo, bruh, is right, Assassino. Thunder, Green Saber, we got Shrimp. And Jeremy Newman as well, man. Shout out to here comes Mike P. $2 super chat. Smash Bros. Vern Skis. We got Jaguar Nut, B-Town, Mr. Janky Stock. And shout out to Keith Smith. Ellie Musady. Really? Okay. Musady? Into Musady? There we go. We got Grenfell, J-Dog, Zen Zombie, Mr. Love Shack's in the house. Shout out to Commodity King, Denise Michelle, AT Nerd, Dean Allen, Joey Ja. Oh, we already just said that one. Manny Olives. We got Corza. I can't even read that. That's a whole mouthful right there, bro.
Forza Motorsport.
Yeah, something like that. Eduardo, formerly Mr. Gray. The guy, shout out to my man. Like the posts on the weekend, man. Those were interesting. I love how you're always down for a good time. Randy Worms, AJ Easy, and one more, Joey. Charlie, got it, bro. What's up, man?
Oh, he's got it all the time. All right, before we head into the next little ad read there, we'll give a shout out to some of our friends over there on TikTok. We have JJ, Albert, Crypto Focus, Landon Graft. Okay, you grafting out there. Ag Home, it's Eli. I like that one. Spanny Boy, Jay, Fillet. We got a couple more. Mr. Logical. What's up, Jack? Kim, Joshua, Rod. I used to know Joshua. Ed, Traveler, Escora, Tech Omega. Okay. Derek, Zimmer, Annie. A couple more. My Tribe. Steven Jackson. Always pulling up, man. You're one of the names that I can remember quite frequently showing up in the TikTok chat. We got JJ, and then we got Sam, a.k.a. Bullpick. Thank you all for joining us. But VinFast reported among Q2 momentum, delivering more than 70,000 EVs globally, up 96% year over year. First half deliveries reached 129,000 vehicles, up 78%, reinforcing the company's growth trajectory across its expanding EV portfolio. By mid-year, VinFast had already achieved approximately 43% of both its 2026 4W and 2W delivery targets, putting the company firmly on track across both growth engines. VinFast, there it is, guys. All right, let's talk stock now, ladies and gentlemen. There goes SpaceX, 136 there. Nice bottom. We tried a couple attempts on this bad boy. I was actually looking at the short originally, but look, we go NVDL, we just get out, so we'll call that break-even trade. But then I'm like, okay, let's get a push back up into the volume-weighted average price on attempt number 2. Starts to work for us. I'm like, yes, okay. So what was I thinking in the midst of this trade? We get a pullback and a retest of this zone. I'm doubling up the position for the move. Instead, no, what did I have to do? I had to stick to my original stop, and eventually it just came back and hit that that $35.12 marker. You can see that we were at $35.22, 10 cents worth of risk, and at our peak, we were at a 3-to-1. I was looking for more to eliminate some losses and then go green, but that wasn't the narrative here, as NVDA down almost 2% on the session. And then we have AUUD, also a name that we were trading in the pre-market. Juan Padilla, like, yo, Joe, you were in this bright and early? I'm like, yeah, for sure. Nice little move, 155 all the way up to 160, and then eventually we got stopped out break even. Now, Shriva, I was looking at another name here.
Yes,
Let me pull it up and see if I can find it. I can't remember. There's so many of them.
YWHG's open. Here we go. 8. Here comes limit up. Triple eights.
Let me finish here.
Bro, it's gonna limit up.
That's all right. Let me finish. There was another name. It's all right. Go ahead. I can't even find it now.
Okay, so WYHG is limiting up as we speak. Triple eights right now. 1.756 million shares. Top, we're halted. Can't see the top quite yet. 889 limit up on this one. I didn't get a chance to push in. I didn't really have eyes on it. I was trying to execute on PCLA while this one was halted. But this one looks like it's all gas, no brakes, Joey. I mean, here we go. 3 up halts in a row. I really haven't seen this one pull back at all. But to be fair, I really haven't been watching it for all that long. So we're a lot closer to the 10 than we are to the 5. So my bias immediately starts thinking that we're going to squeeze into 10. Now, I did have a bit of a mistake here with PCLA. I got in more shares than I thought. I got in basically one position here. I thought I was stopped out, and then I look at my blotter, and I'm still in the position, so I had to flatten out. So I made a bit of a mistake here on PCLA. Hopefully, we won't make that again. So we're going to keep a close eye here on WYHG. The halt time, 11:07:11. So the earliest open, 11:12:11. So we'll be packing the patience for that. And there's more to talk about, Joe, if you want. I got this one here. It's just one name. STKH. We tried a couple attempts on it. It was moving in the just after the open, breaking through the high of the day. So I was looking for a continuation. Didn't get it going, but then we got another scalp right here, and then we doubled up the size. We hit that $6 marker, and I'm like, all right, nice. Comes back in, and then sure enough, it just broke down, and I seen the tape get really weak. And as soon as it gave up that $5.60, I'm like, you know what? That's it. I'm out of dodge on it, and you can see that we are now south of the volume-weighted average price. $5.20 approximately is VWAP here on STKH. So no follow-through on these ones, man. Yeah, I mean, it feels like a little bit weak at times, but we got that WYHG, so we can't complain too much, shall we? But XHLD made a big move right now. I still haven't gotten into the side charts because I really haven't had time. There's a lot of movement right now, so let's get right down to work, man. XHLD is having trouble clearing 4. So it's cleared 4, right? Because the high of the day is 469. But take a quick look at the closing prints. There's only one closing print, one candle, I should say, pardon me, on the 5-minute chart that actually closed above $4, and it was quite transient. And then the subsequent candle on the 5 ended up closing below 4. So right away, it's screaming to me, I'm having trouble taking out $4. So, how that ends up, jiving, we'll wait and see. Now, this 4 area, it hasn't really featured as resistance because this one was moving on Friday, and quite frankly, it felt more like 350 was resistance as opposed to 4. Like, look at all these topping tail candles. Yeah, they do breach 350, but almost like immediately they fail. And it happened again in the pre-market this morning, right at 4 a.m. We get to 355 and we fail all the way back down to 250. So it just, I don't know how this cookie is going to crumble, but it's not crumbling. In fact, it's sort of the opposite right now. It feels like the bid is getting stacked. We're putting higher lows and higher highs, even though the previous candle on the 5-minute chart is a topping tail candle. We're still holding trend because the current candle has a higher low. So a lot of movement here, just figuring out how to get my way into it. Is PCLA halted? PCLA is halted down right at a little bit below the volume weighted average price, a little bit above 15. It's like 15.18 limit down on PCLA. So be careful with that one as we wait for resumption here on not PCLA, but WYHG. We're still waiting for, I think we got another minute, minute and 20 seconds or so, minute 10 seconds on that monster. But we needn't wait just for that, because here we go. XHLD is making yet another move into 4. The old college try, right? Yeah, absolutely, Zen Zombie. So we're going to keep an eye out on that. 9:15 now is tap on WYHG as we have another about minute and change till resumption. What time is it exactly? Yeah, we have another 30, less than a minute. So I want to pack the patience on that one, knowing full well that, you know, if as I wait for WYHG, XHLD could open and go without me, Joey. So I'm going to send it to you so I can focus on these two here.
All right, man. So here it is. There's the name that we were trading this morning. So we're looking for some form of structure. And I mean, 218. I did buy a little bit more this morning around 223. Now I want to grab some more as we head into the mid-teens, I should say, so around 15 or 16. I do believe we're going to experience a pullback. We'll head out to the daily and see what we have for support levels, and that's around 213. So if we do hold up around 213, wow, I do believe we'll make that push towards the all-time high, which is around $236. I got my eyes on this one as well too, Sharif. YHG, as it did halt, but now it's starting to push $10, almost $9. Ooh, clean flush to the downside, $8.90. Let's get it up on our
832 limit down.
832 limit down. Let's pull this bad boy up. Yep. Let's see what's going on, man. We don't want a topping tail candle. Keep an eye on the 1 minute time frame. That was there it goes. It hit the halt band, Sharif. Let's see a couple more pennies, and the next thing you know, we're gonna gray out here momentarily. Or is it going to be a false halt? Doesn't look like it at this point. Bang, there it is, halted to the downside. So at 87% to the north side here, now starting to move a little bit lower. We almost hit that $9 marker, but now starting to come in, guys. Be cautious of this one. Tap now 750. Ooh, that's not too good, especially if you've been heavy long. Upside.
Tell him, Joey. Well, I've worked into XHLD here. My view is I'm not building a full position here. I have to work my way in because it's just got way too much resistance at 4 for me to feel comfortable punching full. You know, let's see what this gets. We just got one print there into 95s. Fine. There's 4 again. 407 ripping up into 417, 420 and a quarter. Why does it do this? Give me my print, bro. Come on, man. It is Monday. I don't have the patience for this today. Like, come on. Let's go. Oh, my Lanta. Oh, my days. The delay. The delay feels like my young, stupid cousin. Here we go. Looking for a little bit more. Yeah, well,
why'd you put Neil on it?
I didn't put Neil on anything.
No, they did.
So watching, continuing to watch here on XHLD. Big price spike up into about 4 1/3, but it's holding 4. I don't expect it to hold 4 here because it's failed 4 in every time, which is why I was trying to take it out on the top. But, you know, it's not a big deal. No worries there. So looking to build the position. Let's see if we can get something to maybe 80s, something in and around that level. If we can get something in the low 80s, that's where I'm going to look to get it a little bit more.
All right, man. SpaceX took a pretty hefty dump right there, guys, and on volume. So keep an eye out on this one. So you were grinding off the lows for pretty much the majority of the session, the morning session, I should say. You climb up to $137, and then in one candle, it's just boom, whoosh. A lot of this is just gone here. So now we'll keep an eye out on SpaceX to see if it's going to find any form of a recovery. The market's most definitely been choppy this morning, right? NVDA on the downside, so it's going to make things a little bit more difficult to the long side in the TQQs. There was a print, Gorv. I don't know if you've seen this bright and early. As soon as I looked, I'm like, man, when you open up on the top end at the close of this candle and it just goes, it's like, oh, that's so frustrating. And then sure enough, that would have been a nice little trade right there. So yeah, not too bad of a look. We'll keep our eye on SpaceX, but I believe that's going to be our last attempt on NVDA. All right, it's just one of those sessions that I feel are going to be relatively weak. And the pullback, we had our one trade on NVDL that where we thought we would have, and we'd have an extended move, at least into this range, and then bonus points up to 35.80. Sure enough, it just decided to break down and now trading approximately 50 cents lower from our last exit. So it's good to get out there.
All right, Joey, let's tell everybody. Quick reminder, Trader TV Live members, get Sharif's Mind Daily Morning Research Note every single trading day that I'm in the building, baby. The big market stories, we're talking about the key levels. How about the trade plans, what to look for, how to get in, how to get out, what price levels we're talking about, and certainly the catalyst, what to look out for in the news. And we're exactly what we're actually watching for into the open. It is very cheap, guys. It is $4.99 a month. That's less than 20 pennies a day. And you also get members-only videos, posts, custom emojis, as well as loyalty badges. So thank you for everybody who signed up, and just hit the join button below this video to sign up now. All right, we added like a psycho into the XHLD area, which is fine with me. It's still holding trend. I'm going to add little by little and scalp out little by little. Prior bar high is not the high of the day, but it is 430. I do anticipate to have some resistance at about 433. Prior bar low, which is the 1110 bar, is 370. So looking for a hold of prior bar. And, you know, it really should hold up here if I'm going to stay involved, not just because it's prior bar low, but that's where the 10 EMA on the 5-minute chart's hanging out. So despite the fact that we've been above 4, you know, we were by no means decisively cleared that $4 level to say, you know, we can start using it as support. At least I don't think so. So going to go ahead and wait for some more prints here just north of 4 and see what we can kind of get there with a view to also adding into the dips. So in case that does go against me. So continue to watch here, guys. A little above 4, a little bit below 4 as we wait for resumption on both PCLA and WYHG, Joey.
Yeah, it looks pretty good on XHLD. Got my eyes on this bad boy. I mean, if we're going to grab anything off of the lows, see, that's the thing. I'd rather short a little SpaceX here, I think. So I'm going to go SSPC. That's where you go long as the inverse ETF. It is on the Amex, guys. Don't forget that. But it does look like we're going to get a little bit of a continuation to the downside. So what we'll do is we'll just go relatively small to start things off, just to get involved with it. And if we pull back south of VWAP, then we'll just add some more until we just hit our full position. And then we'll obviously stick to our risk measures. But here it goes. Closer to the volume-weighted average price would be more ideal. But I'm inverse right now, and you can see that we're starting to form a little bit of a curl-over pattern. And I just believe, because considering this is pretty weak, you see the selling pressure stepping in, and then whoosh, flush to the downside. Largest volume print since the opening drive and the opening auction is that 1110 marker. So keep an eye out on that as we continue to slide a little bit here. Now, as for some of the stronger names, it was Microsoft. I was saying to Sharif bright and early, McMahon, watch out for Microsoft and SanDisk today. SanDisk was up 3% at one point, starting to come back in a little bit. A name that was hit the heaviest, but you can see how we just haven't rebounded as strong as we were expecting this whole space to. Why? Is too many people just got hit too heavy, and now they're just avoiding it at all costs. Now, as for Microsoft, 1.6% to the top side. What an absolute monstrous run off of those lows. 47% to the tune of where we're only down about 8% off of the all-time high on Microsoft. 8 3/4 there, brother. What do you got? WAYHG.
Should I do it?
There it goes.
I saw this movie on the weekend. Neil, you know what I'm talking about right here, Neil?
Oh, look at the SpaceX thump.
You know what I'm talking about? You don't remember this, man? Bad Boys 2? Oosa. It was on A&E, Neil. Get it. Boom. WYHG. Limit frickin' up. We're involved. What do we got here, Joey? We got 835. We're limit up at 906. Damn money, man. There we go, baby. We're doing it. We're doing it live. We're looking for more here on XHLD. Get it, Mr. Love Shack. I like that guy, bro. All right, man. I don't know what it was, Joey. It was A&E on the weekend, right?
Yeah.
You know, that, whatever.
Classic channel.
Was it A&E? No, it wasn't A&E. It was AMC, my bad. American Movie Classics, my mistake. They had a Will Smith special.
32?
They had, pardon me?
Channel 32.
Yeah, it's 32. My bad. He knows. So they had iRobot, which was terrifying because even the buses that drive around the robots look like Elon's Robobus, man. Why does everything have to be? Oh,
that's all right,
days. So anyway, it was like a Will Smith special. It was iRobot, then it was Independence Day, and then it was Bad Boys 2. It was just like one Will Smith movie after another.
Oh,
so I was like,
what's
all right.
the one? What's the zombie Will Smith movie?
Zombie one.
I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
Was that on there too?
I Am Legend.
Was that on? Did you watch that one?
No, I don't know if it was on.
Oh,
right?
but
it was just like
no, they definitely
had it back to back.
No, if they're running like the
Was
individuals marathon, then 100% it would be.
I didn't see. Well, I was gonna be around for 12 hours.
I was telling Neil how much of a NFL fan I used to be. There goes SpaceX to the downside. I tell him how I fell out of love with it, but just to add a little bit more context, there was only one channel that I watched.
There's only one,
and it was channel 77.
Remind me what that was again?
The NFL Network.
Hey.
And it was on literally 24/7. And then eventually
days,
I was just
bro.
like, man, yeah, whatever.
When I'm in fantasy, I'm constantly watching the NFL Network. But I haven't been in fantasy in a minute, to be honest with you.
There goes SpaceX to the downside, man. It looks like we're gonna crack 130. If we do crack 131, then I think we're gonna be rocking and rolling on this bad boy. So not too far of a look. It would have been ideal to get 1255 on this one, but we've seen it a little bit light. So not too bad of a play here on SpaceX.
All right, I'm thinking, well, look, XHLD could still be in play, but it lost prior bar low, so I'm just going to take it out here, which is not my favorite thing to do because I should have been defending into the 10 EMA, which is fine. I can wait for a different type of trade on XHLD. I'll wait for a decisive taking of 4, and then I'll mosey back in. And, you know, I've watched this entire time since I got in initially, and we haven't had a decisive take of 4. Even though we've been up well above 4, there's never been that, you know, that big buyer that steps in at 4 to keep us afloat above that whole dollar. So, Dillian, Sharif, the REQL question is the real question, okay? Is did they show the Will Smith Chris Rock slap one of the greatest? Nah, man, they didn't. I don't think that they were. That's what they were going for. I think they were trying to pay homage to Will Smith, not crap all over it, but. That was interesting though. That's gonna live in my memory for free for a long time. Guys, PCLA's open. It is down goes PCLA. Joey, we are below the volume weighted average price. We are below the 10 moving average, and goodness gracious, we're about to lose $13 here. 15 was the level. It's struggling. Now, current time is 11:23:22. The halt time on WYHG 11:19:20, earliest open 11:24:20. So we have another 50 seconds or so before this one resumes. So we're going to pack the patience. We got 8:35 on this. The top barely above the halt price. That was the same deal last time. It was barely above. It's above by a penny or so. So that's what I'm keeping my eye out on there. That's all I'm interested in at the moment. WYHG and XHLD, even though I'm not going to trade XHLD until it moseys on above the 10 EMA. But here's what I'm looking at. FSLY, obviously not a small cap gapper, but certainly trading like one today. LFST to the right of it. BFLY, middle top right in your screen. EMBC, lighter volume, top right of your screen. And then the hot garbage PCLA, bleeding its own blood. My biggest loser so far, that hot garbage. That was a mistake on my part, though. Open here, ripping up into 10 options, man. It goes.
Hey.
Boom. We got 98s, baby. We got 835 entry on this mother. You know what? WYHG is Rip City. Rip City. That is the high of the day. Now it's going to be a different trade in my humble submission because now we're at that $10 area. So the top is looking pretty good for now. Underline that. For now, 1028 high. We're waiting for more. Get it, Tisha.
Oh.
We're going to see exactly what we get on this one. My only lament, Joseph Options, is not having gotten in a little bit more, but that seems to always be the lament.
That's the struggle of a day trader, I guess, man. Just never enough. Same thing. I could say the exact same thing here with this SpaceX trade. It's my smallest position of the day. It turns out to be the best trader of the day. But hey, man, it's just how it works. Wow, look at it really start to bleed a little bit here. Wow, yeah, sorry, but Assassino's busy right now. So here it is, SSBC to the downside, or sorry, to the top side. That means SpaceX starting to sell off a little bit here. You can see the Nasdaq start to head towards some key support levels as well too. $721 here on the Nasdaq. How's the SPY performing? Did we hit all-time highs here on the SPY once again? The Nasdaq lagging, so we had the Dow hit all-time highs. Did the IWM? Why am I asking these questions when I have the answers right in front of me?
Get it, Joey.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's
brother.
Typically how it goes.
Oh, Tish is dunking on us.
What'd you say, man?
I mean, Tiff. I called her Tish.
Tiff.
My bad.
Oh,
Tisha Perkins.
It doesn't even matter.
It doesn't matter.
Listen.
Go ahead, Joey.
The best performing index of all time.
All time.
The TSX, as we hit all-time highs once again here, man.
You're going to dunk on our American viewers like that?
Sometimes
you're going to dunk on the American viewers, Joey?
Listen, the Americans have been winning for quite some time. Give us our time in the sun here for a little bit, all right? No, in all seriousness, last week's SPY hit the all-time highs as well, too. But the NASDAQ did not. Guys, how does this feel right here? No, you know I love you all. But here it is. Ooh, how's that one right there?
Boo, people are booing.
Why? We would never boo you, guys.
Never.
Matter of fact, we cheer you on when the market
and we
gets
have to be around a lot of anti-American sentiment up here. Full disclosure.
So it's like, dude,
full disclosure, and we don't participate in it.
I don't own a Canadian stock, and you guys are gonna boo us? You're like, come on, man, what is this? Where's the love for your northern brothers? I know Mike Peter Ryder's got it there for us, but no, in all seriousness, the USO to the top side, guys. NASDAQ has yet to hit an all-time highs. The SPY the other day, the Dow and the IWM, I think, hit all-time highs as well last week, guys. So aside from that, all fun and games. What was I looking at here? Well, these guys are probably just ripping the TSX apart right now. I don't know why, because we're so good to you. We're so nice over here. Anyways,
I think you'd like it. It's got so many minerals and
man,
all the mining names.
And it's your neighbors, like your closest friends to the north, right? So I mean, the fact that you guys want to dunk on it just shows how the tables
I'm kind of hurt, Joey.
Yeah, the tables can turn, right? It's like when we cheer you guys on a daily basis, but then we can't have 30 seconds of being all-time highs, man. What kind of nonsense is that, Mike P. the Rider? Aside from that, guys, Broadcom on a nice little run. We're about 15%. 15% off of the all-time highs. And Tesla, not doing too bad. I bought some more GPM. That's why I came over here in the first place, Sharif, is to look at JPM.
Okay.
I actually bought a little bit more via CDR this morning. So, yeah, we're just continuously building. I'm now sitting on about 7% cash, 7%. Gonna buy some Google and NVDA, I believe.
All right, man. I like it, Joey. Mike P. the Rider. 11-2, my favorite part of the day. Multiple exclamations, and then there's the one there, which I'm assuming it was probably a mistyped exclamation.
So he was asking me about Northern Canada, and I'm like, yeah, man.
The Northern Touch.
Yeah, it's big. You got to come check out Canadian cottage country.
There we go.
They're beautiful.
All right, guys, looking for a long here on XHLD. Breach prior bar high. Does it have the juice to keep going though, or is this going to be a bull trap? XHLD is doing things, and I don't know how to feel about this, so we're going to give this the old college try. Let's see if we're able to stay above 4. It feels like it's a thick trade every single time we get above $4, right? Like even into the mid-teens, 20s. Like, let's see, look at this. There's a seller at 14 now. You were selling at 15 earlier. I'm getting in a small position here because I don't want to be punched out of this, all right? Now, keeping an eye here, waiting for resumption. We should get resumption in about 10 seconds or so. Yes, about 10 seconds. Looking for a big move up here on WYHG. If it opens up, the top is showing 1085. We have 835, 1095. It looks like it's going to be a 10-minute halt. It doesn't look like we're going to resume quite yet, so we'll have to pack the patience on that one. That gives me more time to focus on XHLD, and they're still selling in the teens. It's so annoying. Even though we did breach prior bar high, I'm just going to base my entry on prior bar low. Looking for the first profit taker in the 20s. I've got 15s. There's 20. There's the profit taker, but no continuation. I've set up my resting profit takers because you guys saw what happened last time. I was trying to take profits, and the delay was just really frustrating. So big seller at 18.19. Let's see if we can move above 20. That is where I got the print. 20's there, Joey. 25s just came in. Got the print there. Looking for 33s next. Let's go ahead. Get it, Mike Pediatrider. I like when he talks to the stock. He's like, "Go ahead, XHLD."
Yeah, that's
I
right.
love
That's
that,
what you have
man.
to do, man.
He's like, "You got to
got
go
at?
ahead, bro."
Assassino has the vegetarian.
Assassino got the food.
Where's he walking
That's
over?
crazy.
Yeah,
I think
he's got the
he's
food,
hooking up the camera angle there.
Yeah.
Fail on XHLD down to 4. Does it lose prior bar low? Prior bar low 391. It's gonna bleed here. It looks like it might lose prior bar low. Joey, what do you got?
Same thing, man. We're just letting this SSPC rock and roll. I'm going to be looking for a potential log. Maybe we based out on NVDA. We do have our downtrend now officially. I mean, it's been established for quite some time, but what we can see is the consistent lower highs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to wait for a 5-minute candle to sit on the backside of this, the tape turn around, some volume step into the top side, and then sure enough, maybe we can find ourselves our final attempt on the potential long. We struck out already, or we took 2 strikes on NVDL 0 for 2. We got one more at back, guys. So let's keep our eyes out on this one. 5-minute candle on the backside of the trend, and then sure enough, we might engage one more time. But nonetheless, guys, it's time for Juan and Adair at the desk.
The European markets just closed, so it's time to dissect what happened during the session in the different country stock markets. Here to give us that information is Juan.
Thank you, Adara. So European markets marginally higher at the start of this week, weighed by energy supply risks against that of upcoming GDP data happening in the region. We take a look at the stock 0600, marginally higher, but still hovering right at record highs after last week's 1.7% gain. Now, if we move on to Germany, they were holding steady, especially supported by strength in the tech as well as industrial lines. We have Siemens Energy rising more than 2%, while Infineon gained roughly around 3%. Among the day's laggards included that of Deutsche Telekom. They were down by 3.5%. And auto names didn't really perform well today in Germany, with Porsche down by 2.5%, Volkswagen down by 1.7%, and BMW down by 1%. Moving over to France, the luxury sector led most of the gains, but it was trimmed by modest financial laggards. Louis Vuitton, Hermes, as well as L'Oreal led the gains, up between 0.5% as well as 1%. Energy counters also in the green in France, with Total Energies up by 2% and Schneider Electric up by more than 1%. On the downside, however, we had Airbus, Safran, and BNP Paribas. They were among the major decliners in the region. Over in the United Kingdom, the main laggard in the region, their gains in tech stocks were offset by some weakness, especially among some major defensive names. We had British American Tobacco down by 3.5%. Coca-Cola was also down by 4.6%. And Imperial Brands down by about 5%, leading the declines. Energy names, although, gained as investors, of course, monitored some Middle East developments as well as mixed US-Iran signals about the reopening of the Strait of Hormuz. Shell up by 1% as well as BP up by 1.7%. Now, an interesting story coming out of the Eurozone, their investor morale turns positive. So the Eurozone Centix Investor Confidence Index, they climbed to 0.9 points in August from negative 3.1 in July. So that's the 4th straight monthly gain and topping the negative 0.5 consensus for this month. Even in Germany's, their Centix index rebounded sharply. So it's reinforcing a little bit of regional economic stabilization in the region. And of course, this week, markets, of course, will be positioning ahead of the US CPI release. Following weak payrolls last week, a softer print will solidify global rate cut expectations. So that will also keep that of Eurozone yields quite anchored in the region. So watch out for that for the rest of this week.
Also watch out in this space here at 3:30 p.m. for more discussions here with Juan, this time on the Asian market. In the meantime, we'll send you back over to Sharif and Joe.
That if you're a long time viewer, you know what that means, man. He's in the house, Joey.
What's up? What's he saying?
Big Spile Burdette. There's my man. Nobody's allowed to use this, the big moniker.
There's a couple bigs in there.
I know, man. I told them, like, he'll fight them. I'm gonna get to WYHG in a second, but my man's in the chat here. Big Smile verified. Joe, you have a pleasant glow. You have a pleasant glow today, Joey.
Yeah. What else? Keep going.
SPY and AMD puts. Hold on. The chat keeps moving it. SPY and AMD puts plays engaged. 21 August expiration. Okay. Good day, and don't touch my drum set.
But here's listen, man. We are
man.
pretty much stepbrothers. So, listen, you don't want to know what I did to that drum set.
What happened, Joe?
You don't know what happened to the drum set.
What happened, bro?
Well, that's something that you're gonna have to figure out because I did touch his drum set. Let's pull up AMD. I like that, honestly. It's from Step Brothers. No, the drum set. No, see,
that's the only overlap you guys have.
Let me just put it this way.
Okay.
The drum set was violated. All right, that's it. Yeah.
So no joke, when I was in undergrad, I had to do a rom-com course where we watched Step Brothers. And I will never understand why that was a choice that was made. I'm not joking.
That's great. Yeah, so Adara knows what happens to the drum set. Yeah.
Oh, 420 is letting me know right now.
Yeah, what happens to the drum
he's letting me know exactly what's going on.
No, in all seriousness, listen, I like this a big smile, but the thing is, like, you only have a couple of weeks, so we want this to break the support pretty quick, right? But there is a shelf that's established that I think it can, like, hey, you have a couple of sessions where it just gets really, really ugly. Considering you go on this absolute monster run to the tune of 221%, I think at some point you will get a pullback, maybe even to this gap fill. The issue is that it just may take a little bit longer than what we're expecting. Buyers keep stepping in on this thing and holding price up, but there is a void that I do believe will get filled. And as for the SPY, I mean, hey, SPY puts, oops, was that a leverage something? SPYU, that's interesting. As for SPY, listen, this might be a little bit more difficult, but you do have it to find out. Also, if you're just buying the puts flat out, you know risk is only premium paid. But hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 straight strong days here in the SPY before we experience a little bit of a pullback, tapping into new all-time highs, mostly led by the healthcare sector and the financials. Might be a little bit tough to stand in front of this right now, in my opinion. I like the AMD play a little bit more than the SPY play.
What the hell are we doing with cybersecurity names?
Yeah, I told you. 4%,
so I'm going to have to trim some more PANW here. I'm going to trim some more a little bit south of 400 because I think this thing is going to beeline into $400 in the same way that Crowd is going to. Oh, Crowd split?
Bro, it split
4-1. Yeah, July 2nd. I didn't even notice, man. Dang, man. I've been out of, this is over a month. Snap. Oh, so PANW and CrowdStrike a lot closer in price. So I think PANW is going to beeline. Oh, sorry, CrowdStrike's going to beeline into 250 probably as well. 226.03 high today. PANW today high of 382.37. I think that's all-time high. 382.12 was previous all-time high, so we breach it by like a couple of pennies. Yeah, the cybersecurity names. I mean, goodness gracious, good God. You have PANW about to take out Fortinet as the #1 year to date. You got 107.17 percentage up for for PANW. You're at 107.87 for FTNT. Crowd not far behind at all, actually 92.5%. And I got to tell you, the breakout here is a little bit more decisive on CRWD than it is on PANW, but PANW has had a better year. And then you've got, let's see where Zscaler's at. It's recovering, man. Zscaler was way lower.
60%.
Zscaler was at $120. Now it's knocking the door of 180. So good for them.
What's the cap between the PANW market cap and
Great question, Joey. Great question. So PANW now 311, give or take, right? It keeps moving up. 311 billion. Crowd at 229. So yeah, the gap is opening up a little bit. But
100 billion.
I still think Crowd and PANW, take your pick as to who's best in class. I think they're both invited to that Mythos.
Yeah.
Right. So, $12 tap. So here it is, Tiff. It's open. $12 big resistance at 12, guys. Watch out. Oh my days! Did you see that? It didn't flash 1201s. It just stayed stagnant at 12. And down goes Fraser. We just lost $1.20 in microseconds. I don't even think that was an entire second. We can go back and replay. That's a beautiful thing about being on YouTube. Everything is recorded. Down it goes, limit down 1080. So right now we don't have the high of the day. We have pretty dang close, man. 11 2/3, high of day is 12 on the dot. So very pleased here with WYHG. It has now, believe it or not, broken trend. Why do I say that though? Because the current bar low did breach that 1130 bar. But to me, it's still good above $10. I need it to hold above 10. That's a key area. It's psychological resistance and support. The halt level is right around 10. And now you have the 10 exponential moving average on the 5-minute chart at $10. So I need to see it there. But you want to see, guys, you guys want to see hot garbage, right? And Neil's been saying this a lot more, and more in agreement with him I could not be. Look at this, Tiff. Look at this, Tiff. Like we're moving on our merry way. I don't know why I'm dragging Tiffany into this, but I got to vent out, man. Yeah. We're moseying along our merry way. We're taking out prior bar highs, and then all of a sudden we're at 4 1/3, Joey. We find ourselves at 2 4/5, just like that. Hot garbage on XHLD. So annoying when they trade in this way, but that is part and parcel of trading these small cap gappers. I was about to punch in like an idiot at the volume weighted average price, and I said, think better of it, because you could be catching a falling knife here. Wait for it to prove that buyers are stepping in, give it a couple of candles, at least on the one, show higher highs and higher lows. We didn't get them, so I didn't touch it. So I'm staying away from this one, man. XHLD huadunked Billy. Yes, it did, Dino, man. It huadunked big time. Man, we got to say huadunk a little bit more around here, man. It's been a minute since I said huadunk. Mike PD Ryder, it's not even high noon yet. We got plenty of time. That's my man. That's the kind of attitude I want to hear, man. I like it.
High noon.
Yeah, high noon is good, Joey. Ticker Sim. This is part of the game, Sharif. Just remember what last week brought you. Yes, they are around for a good time, not a long time. And it sounds like, you know, like a Friday night or a Saturday night, but that's not really what it's about. It's about these things really flipping the script on you super quick, and they do that. And so unless you're gonna, you know, be super quick on the hotkeys like you are in a video game, or you're using hard stops, sound risk management strategies, you're gonna get burned by these, man. And that's just kind of the way it goes. Grunfeld. ALGS could make a move here, lower volume, but stair step up pattern. Say less, my man.
Chat. Oh, chat's on fire here.
Yeah, chat's always on fire. Good call out, Grunfeld. 33.5%. Completely see your perspective here in the low vol. We barely above 250,000 shares on the day, right? The spread, though, what's the spread on this animal? Oh, my Lanta. It's quite wide. Let's put it on here for a second. ALGS, just want to see what this looks like here on here, Joey. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, it's not bad. Okay, 20 pennies, 15 pennies. It opens up. The volume is picking up, though, Grunfeld. Like, I think you called it at the right time, my man. Because look at the tape. The tape's definitely moving in a more orderly way. So looks like there is some support here between 7 1/4 to 7. So you're going to have to be careful how you work your way into this. Zen Zombie. Thank you, brother, for the $2 super. Thank you for that. STKH. Look at that one, Joey.
Pull it up.
Pull up.
Oh, nice little pop there in NVDL. While you pull that one up,
yeah,
I'll base out on what we got going on. Again, one more time, in attempt number 3, right? We're finally getting on base with this one. We're going to try to hold this to 35.20. Once again, smallest position, but we got SpaceX working for us. We removed half of this one, but right off of those lows, 34.80. At some point, I figured we'd base out and then find some form of a rebound. Now the question being, how deep is this pullback going to actually be? So you can see we are long NVDL 34.84, printing 35.05s around the highs here. Not too bad of a look. Let's see if we can head on the road of recovery. And then now we're still SSPC here, guys. We're going to get involved until we get stopped out, break even on this bad boy. Oh, Sharif.
What happened?
That's not good. What a great time this may be. All right, there it is. So you can see we took off half right there, and then now we're just, if it comes back to our break even, we get out of it. So those are our 2 trades right now as NVDL starting to print, man. That's why you got to take your swings. 3 attempts. If it doesn't work for me, out of dodge. So you got to be patient with them. Have to be patient with them.
I just got one to cover here.
Yeah,
Joey.
go ahead.
For the super. Thank you again for that super chat, STKH. So this was a great pre-market mover. So if you're RC or you're a pre-market small cap trader, you likely were involved with this one. But I just want to say that this is a bamboozler. Look at that prolonged downtrend. Now, you know, I probably would have stayed away from this one in the pre-market for the reasons we've been articulating for a while, which is these ones that have very prolonged downtrends, which typically find support at the volume-weighted average price, tend to be bull traps as they pull you in with a nice big green candle, and then that same green candle, the subsequent candle, ends up losing the prior bar low, and that's just a recipe for disaster. But this one is a little bit different. Why do I say that? Because it was doing its thing, that pattern we talked about in the pre-market, not during regular trading hours. And you see here, we took out the pre-market high, which was, you know, give or take $6. I think 609 was this candle here, 609 on the dot. So the official high is 710. Alas, it did the same nonsense that it did in the pre-market. Once it got into that 710 high, boom, all the way down into 3 4/5. My days. Now, it's trying to curl, as you can see off that 4, a lot of bottoming tail candles off 4. It tells you a lot of buyers there, or I should say short covering, right? You're Luis Barbado, right? You're getting in at 650 and you might give it to 7, right? That's what Luis does. He gets in near area highs so that his stop is close to his entry. That's his methodology, and it makes a lot of sense. You're going to cover somewhere, though. You're not going to hold this into an oblivion. And I'll submit to you, $4 was a pre-market base. So everybody and their mother started covering at 4. That's why you have the bottoming tail candles there to no end, and then you have higher lows. Now, my question is the short covering here going to trigger buyers to step in, like actual buyers, not people covering short? Well, to me, you know, you got to get above 5, 5.25 to start having that conversation. I don't take these ones I don't take them long nor south of the volume weighted average price. That's not my style. I'm not going to do it. So if it wants to get above 5, 5.25, we can definitely have a conversation. But for me, right now, just based under my system, I just stay away from it. SPCX short to $50. Tarek? Short to 50. All right, brother. You know, have at it. I picked up some more SPCX this morning. I also bought some Tesla for the first time in probably 2.5 years. Let's see how this goes.
Let's see how the cookie crumbles, man.
Let's see how it goes.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, this was what could definitely grind your gears. We'll fire up. No. Wow.
What happened, Joe?
Way to start it off here. Listen.
Store is ripping.
Look at NVDA to the downside, SpaceX up. NVDA down, SpaceX up. We are synthetically short SpaceX with this as it is coming towards our break-even stop out. So we're going to have to be prepared to get out of this one. Should have trailed out at the break of the trend line. So we're going to wait for and see if there's going to be any form of continuation. Other than that, be patient. Not getting any form of move. Listen, these pullbacks are super shallow on NVDA. And with that being said,
Shallow Hal?
Shallow Hal.
Remember that one?
With Jack.
That was a sick movie because, like, the woman he was dating, he kept seeing her for what she wasn't. You remember this?
Yeah. I know exactly what.
Oh, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I think that there's some applicability here, man. I'm looking at some of these small cap gappers, Joey. They're not what they seem to be, man.
So yeah, I know. Listen,
like that.
They're hiding. There's something hiding behind the bigger picture. Man, as for NVDL, yeah, this thing is tough play today. 35.10 might be just a sell program. I said to everybody in the chat, good, sell even a little bit more, come into the teens, and I'm going to be buying a little bit more. We know Burry is short from 210. We have a high of around $225. So what are you, $15? Out of the money on that? Come on, Burry boy.
Burry boy.
What do you got going on there? Yeah. Listen, you're either with me or against me, Shreve. That's how it rocks and rolls.
Who are you, George Bush over there, bro?
Is that what he said?
Yeah, remember when like the whole 9/11 thing happened? He's like, you're either with us or you're against us. Like pure cowboy, bro.
Yeah, I don't know if George came up with that.
Wanted dead or alive.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, that's
George
how it
Bush, bro. What a cowboy, bro.
But hey, if we want to go with the same flow, then guess what? We could be partners and best of friends. But other than that, listen, it's a tough trade here today on NVDA. Looking for the continuation, you're not going to get it. It's just straight channel down.
You don't remember W?
Yeah, of course.
W.
George W. Man.
W.
When he dodged the shoe.
Yeah. shoe. What was the dude? Do you know how disrespectful that is? In all cultures, of course. But like, I really want to stress in Arabic culture, like the shoe. Oh my days.
It's a good dodge.
Oh my days. And then like Nouri al-Maliki, the whatever, I don't know if he's the president or prime minister, he's trying to block it, bro. He was like, he's like a D1.
Didn't the other guy get the other shoe off too? It was like
he took off both shoes.
Yeah,
Where's Secret Service at, man? Oh my days, 2 shoes.
Yeah, two shoes is crazy.
I
don't know what's more embarrassing, getting a shoe thrown at you or walking out barefoot.
Ooh, this guy's asking existential questions here, Joseph. Options, man. Let's go. Oh, what do you got there, Joey? Because I just got into
thing. We got all out of this SSPC as the trend broke, and it looks like it's going to come back to a break even. So what I do like here is the volume by time profile is really starting to cool down. So what we'll have is a rejection, hopefully a curl over, and then that will give us a good opportunity closer to the volume weighted average price to increase our risk to reward, and then have that additional leg lower to the tune of where we cracked 130 bucks. With that being said, we may as well look at some support levels via the options chain, just in case there is some that we're not identifying, and the reason why we keep bouncing off of this specific zone. All right. Oops. Oh no, that's not what we wanted. Oh, please tell me I didn't do that. Okay, we didn't. Are you good?
No, not good. Not good at all. Got caught in a down halt here on WYHG. I was trying to flatten out. Didn't let me out. So we are holding here. Down goes WYHG. It has a lot of resistance at 12, and the top is not looking good at all. It is 985. Halt price 1016. Oh my days. I just have to focus on this guy. So DT, SS, I see it above it. It's a little bit light volume for me, but I do see it into that $1 area. Now I'm going to have to focus on this one as we are in trouble with that. But I'm going to keep here an eye on SOAR because it's still kind of holding trend. So I want to work a little bit into this. Maybe we can take out the $0.25, something of that level. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Oh, big smiles in the house.
Oh, what are you saying?
I think Shallow Hal was based on Bill and Monica's love story. Oh, man. Shout out to my man, Big Spile, man. I don't know if that's the case, but that is what Big Spile is saying. So we're going to have to pack the patience there. Yeah, guys, I tried to get out of WYHG. You know, that's the second time today we hit keys. We don't get out, but that's fine. We'll focus on SOAR. We'll look for it to hold this 19 to 19.5 level. That's where I perceived prior area of resistance. So we did dip into 19 here, but we did hold it quite well. So maybe we can possibly mosey up on to the $0.25. Let's see what this one does. I'm also keeping a close eye here on BFLY, which is continuing to trade a little bit below that $10 area. I want to see if we can decisively take it, but that's all I've got on for the moment, trying to work into SOAR here, Joe.
All right, good stuff. So, guys, yeah, this is what we're looking at here is potential support levels here. We officially know what's for lunch, but you can see that first supply zone as for the put side, we should say, is around this $130 market with 5.5 thousand contracts open there. And you can see there's a lot of volume stepping in. So it's clearly acting as a floor. We're not going to say this is any form of coincidence. And I think for all the veteran traders, even people like in their earlier days, it's just you got to understand the importance of what's going on in the world of derivatives and where the large participants are placing their bets and where you can find support and resistance zones. All right. So 130 right now acting as support. And then we clearly have 135. Which again, no coincidence, 139 was our pre-market high, but our intraday high around 136 before we started to curl over. See 136 right there, and then boom, we flush right. So we're trading within this range right now on SpaceX. I do believe we're gonna have some form of a recovery or a longer recovery, I should say. Oops, we hate it when that happens. All right, let's get this back here. Boom. And then head over to SpaceX on the daily. Now, we bottom out, right? And I think there's a couple people in the chat who are buying in 120. I bought a little bit more, so 15% on the way down, 160, 150, and then I added 30%. So officially my largest tranche right at the lows, drastically dropping the average, and we cut the losses in half so far. So let's see if we can continue on our merry way. We've seen 135 clearly act as resistance. That was the previous issuing price, and then now this is a little bit of a breath, right? So this volume is low as well, so I do believe that we can have the potential to have an ABCD pattern start to form here, and then we make that additional move higher. Now, does that mean we're going into all-time highs? I don't know. I'm not going to say that, but I'll tell you one thing. EPS, and we talked about it before the earnings report, EPS expected 26-cent loss. Comes in at 6-cent loss. The street's really going to like that. So that was a metric that I was looking forward to looking, and as soon as it came out, boom, I was like, all right, watch out for this name to go on a little bit of a rally.
All right, just waiting for WHYG to open up. It should open up if it's going to be a 5-minute halt in about 6 or 7 seconds. Let's see. The top is showing 990. It's moved up a little bit, 991, 993. The halt price is 1016. It does look like it will be a 10-minute halt, sadly. So 993 again. So 1150, 140. So this one should have been opened up about 50, 140, 55, 40. So we have another minute. Sorry, guys. My mistake there. Made a bit of an addition error. So continuing to watch here on WYHG, see what this one opens up. RDGT says TT Mass. Let's have a look at that. RDGT. Yeah, good one. Into about 98 pennies there. Nice breakout. Kind of looks like DTSS. So those are both going right now. So I'll keep an eye on both DTSS and RGTT. Just going to put both on there. Good call out there, Bovin. 108 high, and then you see the one that TT Mass called bottom right of your screen into 98.68. Add the ticker there, RDGT. Yeah, that's what we're looking at. Let's see exactly what time it is. Is it open yet? It's open, yeah. There we go. It's selling at 10. I'm out. Oh, boy. 914 limit down, so it's going to halt down. That's a tough one. That's a tough one there. All right, guys. So limit down on WYHG. We'll take a loss on that. So we'll be almost positive on the day, and then now we're going to be negative on the day. So that's kind of the way that works. False halt on WYHG. Up back into that 970 area, 1050 limit up. Be careful with this one. Watching DTSS continue to climb.
All right, so here it goes. Third time's a charm, as they say. Once again, it's just unfortunate because with this position, we were deeply in the money on this bad boy, and then unfortunately it just came right against us. Sure enough, we're taking another attempt. You have to be patient. So I mean, from this entry to this entry, you wait approximately 40 minutes. Same thing here from 1034, and then we don't get involved in this. So an hour later, instead of me just continuously hammering, you still want to stick to your plan. And I understand that you can get in your feelings. You're all frustrated. You're like, this has to work. This has to work. No, it doesn't have to do anything. That's why it's really important to just kind of allow the price action to set up. Even though this one worked, this one didn't. It is what it is, and we have to accept it. Now we'll head back over to our watch list and see how some of the other names were performing. I mentioned DRAM. Oh, wow. DRAM, sorry, no, it's SanDisk that was up 3%. Yeah, going right back towards the highs. Still no major recovery here. Micron as well, I believe on the downgrades, it got its price target lowered, or I believe it was from $1,100. There's Micron right there, ladies and gentlemen. And then also Lam Research, negative. Snowflake not doing so bad. HPE got the upgrade today, and you can see that we're up about 4.5%. Palantir on a big time run off of the lows. Watch out. Some of these names that were in such good horrible positions starting to find their road to recovery. $179, eliminating very much a large amount of its losses, only down 13%. Now we're talking about Microsoft that at one point was almost cut in half, down 35-40%. Now only down 8% off of its all-time high. Palantir, Amazon just went absolutely parabolic and looks like it wants to establish an additional all-time high once again. So 286.65. I think it's only a matter of time until it breaks, but be cautious because at some point this gap will get filled. In my opinion, I could totally be wrong, and at that point, I think it's going to be a good opportunity to buy. Now, Microsoft this is insane. This is what happens when you have these major names that have just been beat down so aggressively, and then sure enough, they come in a little bit better than expected, up 47% in the span of a month. I mean, if we talk about from the breakout day, that's crazy. Those are crazy numbers, 32%, the majority of it coming in the span of a trading week. There it is, Microsoft, looking too good. Guys, you know what time it is?
I just have to update everybody before we go. So WYHG's limit up. Right now, we caught this one 1038 limit up, and now it's showing an 1150 top. I only took out a little bit of the position on the way up. I am still negative on it as a result of this stupid trade over here. But let's see how this one does. We're showing 11.55 now, tap on WYHG. It's up 140%. It's a $12 triple top, okay? So to me, we're not looking at that 15 quite yet. We really need to be alive to the fact that somebody very, very convicted was selling at 12, because when we opened up at this halt at $12, it didn't even flash a penny above 12. So somebody is at that level very, very aggressively. Let's see if we're able to take them out. Even if we go up into the 11s, watch out for resistance at 12. All right, so we're going to send you up to Dara for happening now and Neil's lesson of the day.
This is happening now, but it's also a look at what's happening later, because sometimes it's even more important than knowing what's already happened is preparing for what's about to occur. Let's take a look here at the S&P 500 coming off of a very strong 15-minute candle there, the 11:45 a.m. to 12 p.m. candle right now. It's kind of hanging out here near the highs of that previous candle, but we are far removed, not far removed, but removed enough here from the high of day on the SPY. Let's take a look here at the Nasdaq. Nasdaq looking pretty similar, but in addition to the Nasdaq here, we're not only below this intraday high, we're also still well below the pre-market high. USO continuing its upward trajectory, pulling back a little bit here, but I mean, we've already seen today some pullbacks here on the 15-minute that just are followed by a resumption of buying. So keep an eye here in USO as we continue to get comments from Iran, specifically the foreign relations spokesperson. We're seeing a little bit of a move here up in oil. And again, foreign relations spokesperson of Iran more or less suggesting, hey, things with the U.S. kind of stagnating, not going too well when it comes to negotiations, but we're nearing a deal with the Oman side of things. So mixed look there, but certainly a positive look for USO and a good look if you're long. ACHR in focus. They already had a story this morning here. Boeing taking an equity stake in the company as ACHR also acquires a couple different assets from Boeing in that aviation, aerospace, and I believe also eVTOL sector. But ACHR, they're not done here. They have earnings after the bell. We're expecting revenue of $1.95 million and losses of 25 cents per share. And then you've got here Hims and Hers Health. HIMS is in focus. They're also reporting after the bell, along with the likes of Rocket Lab, ASTS, Plug Power, QUBT. So it's a who's who of these retail favorites that are reporting earnings tonight. We also have at 3 p.m. comments from Fed's Hammock. Now, why is this significant? We always have Fed talk. We don't always have Fed talk from one of the three most hawkish voting Feds right now, because again, Hammock, along with Logan and Kashkari, voted during the July meeting for a 25 basis point hike. Now, again, this was the minority opinion. It was a dissenting vote. We ended up not having those rates hiked, but either way here, comments from Hammock are certainly going to be of note. Stick with us here for coverage of said comments, and in the meantime, we've got a lesson. And the man who's giving us that lesson could be a ticker himself with just 4 letters here, NEAL. I'm long. Neil's lesson of the day. You guys can all hear it right now.
Well, thank you, Dara. It's a lot to live up to there. So we'll jump right into it, I think, because, look, one of the things that most traders, I don't want to say all traders, but most traders look for is a breakout, right? It's the most simplistic of all strategies. And a lot of times we think of a breakout and it's like, okay, well, the pre-market high, maybe the prior day high, some kind of level on the daily chart, which might be there. And then once it's breached, like, okay, we go long there, and then however far it goes, that's it. You don't really think anything of it. But there's something to be said about a certain key price level breaking out, and then the continuation might happen after it's failed. So one, it hasn't really happened yet on SMCI, but it's something that I wanted to make sure we pay close attention to. Because if you do have a level that's significant on the daily, like this one here on SMCI, like you've got 32.6, 32.5, and then today it broke out at a pre-market high at 32.6, and then the entire time it's holding that level, it's got higher lows into it. Now, did it go immediately? Absolutely at the open. Went once, tried to go twice, it tried to hold above that breakout level a third time, and just hasn't. It's got scalp trades, sure, but there hasn't been continuation. But when you think about something, those are levels on a daily chart. So obviously, it's still valid for a potential break and fill in this gap on a daily chart. And if you're a day trader, or you're just a trader that, now with PDT gone, more or less for almost everybody, you can trade more than just once. You can look at something as an opportunity, not just the one time it breaks out that level, but the second time, the third time, because it's still valid for a multi-day move based on that daily chart. But you just have to be careful what you're looking for. The standard is obviously it breaks at the open. Great. Or it could just be bouncing off the prior high. Or what's kind of setting up right now is what led me to this. Oh, well, it started trending down, making lower highs. That's got to be done, right? Well, bottoming tail candle, consolidation higher, and then we could just start breaking out again in the afternoon. And this is where flexibility comes in. Oftentimes, we are thought once a breakout pulls back, that's it, throw it out the window. But you have to understand what sometimes makes a breakout so good. It could be shorts covering, getting out of their positions, right? That's one of the things that you like, because shorts covering is how you get that push higher oftentimes, in addition to people going long above that level because it's trading somewhere new. But you know what's even better if you want continuation? What? Less sellers. Because if a breakout's failed twice, then you might have less short-term traders the third time it goes. And if there's less short-term traders in it because they gave up at 9:30, then there's less people sitting on the offer if it goes in the afternoon, because there might be fewer people involved and less people taking that scalp profit, which allows it to go a little bit further. Think about when one of those small cap stocks that kind of goes half for dead in the morning picks back up in the afternoon. Well, it's already rinsed out all the pre-market people and possibly got the weak hands out. That can give it a little bit more juice if it happens to get going above VWAP in the afternoon. And a breakout trade can be the same thing. Now, I'm not saying SMCI is going to go here. I'm patiently waiting for it to sort of reclaim this VWAP in the 3250, but I'm not done with it, because to me, the breakouts on the daily, it's still challenging, so it's very much valid. And I think you have to give these things more than one crack, because if it's got room, and this one's got room, then it's worth it. And all you're looking for as a trader is the right setup. And if you like a stock and it sets up and it's got your parameters, then you can give it multiple tries. Just make sure, of course, that you're not just fighting it. Oh, it's a breakout over 32.5, but I'm longing it at 32 and 31.70 and 31.50 as it's failing. It's one thing to take it when it's breaking out or when it's trying to reclaim the high. It's another thing if that fails and you're just trying to work the long as it's failing. That's a totally different ballgame. But I think our breakout trades, we think of them sometimes as one and done, and that's not always the case. Give it a chance to go, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes at lunch, and that second or third rally might have a few less participants because they've already jammed out after 9:30, and that can be taken to your advantage. So that's the quick lesson of the day. I can't grade the lunch because I haven't even gotten the shrink wrap off here. They wrap it really heavily, so it's like tearing out of this is ridiculous. It's just rice. You guys can see a lump of rice, a little bit of beef in here, salad, some veggies. Not really sure how the beef is flavored, so I can't really tell you, but it looks like it'll be pretty solid. So I'm going to have my lunch. Hopefully we get this third chance at the breakout in SMCI, and we'll send you guys back to Sharif and Joe.
We'll go to me first here. Netflix in focus. NFLX trading sharply here to the upside. The company reportedly announcing that their ad commitments have nearly doubled in 2026 in the U.S. upfront. So NFLX, nice push to the upside again, nearly doubling their U.S. upfront ad commitments for 2026.
Oh, thank you, Adara, for that information. I have to give you more information. About VinFast, they reported strong Q2 momentum, delivering more than 70,000 EVs globally, up 96% year over year. First half deliveries actually reached 129,000 vehicles. That's up 78%. And that reinforces the company's growth trajectory across its expanding EV portfolio. And by mid-year, VinFast has already achieved approximately 43% of both its 2026 4W and 2W delivery targets. That puts the company firmly on track across both. Wow. Oh my days, we did quite well there. All right, growth both engines. All right, I had to flatten. I don't know what kind of random opening time was that. That wasn't 15 minutes. Did you see that? That was in 15 minutes. I've never seen it not in increments of 5. I've never seen it, Neil, and I trade these all the time. What the hell was that? Well, we made money on it, man, but we didn't get the high, and I was reading. Oh, my God. Anyway, we did really well on this trade. I don't want to bitch and complain because, we did quite well. But, now we're just like barely negative on the day. I can't believe that it did that.
What the hell was even?
Did you see that?
No, I was lit. Yeah, there we go. That's
it wasn't 10 minutes, brother. No, it wasn't. I can show you exactly where it halted. So it was supposed to open up. It was an 11:28, 11:58 halt time. So I waited till 12:08. It didn't open up, but it ended up opening up at 12:09. So a little bit weird there. Anyway, we're fine. We did well on this. Limit down now, 10:52. So now we're going to trade carefully for the rest of the day.
Oh.
Because now we're basically back to break even, and I have no intentions of being that negative again. Last week, I was perfect, 5 for 5, and I don't want to give that back this week. So I'm going to be very careful the rest of the day. So WYHG, limit down now. What the hell? Man, you see something new all the time. Guys, seriously, the small cap traders in the chat, I just want to understand, have you guys seen this? Have you guys seen where it opens in between one of the 5-minute brackets? Because I personally have it. So Tisha, TT, Mass, Mike P, Byron, who else, man? Grunfeld, Bovin, Casey, Tisha. Have you guys seen Coffee Black has? Can you give me an example, brother? Because I haven't ever seen it, man. YJ apparently is going crazy. I think that's a holdover from last week. Sorry, flipping to the 5. Yeah, good call out there, guys. Yeah, it's ripping up. So this one is Chinese, right? Yeah, just gonna make sure here. Profile, company profile. Yeah, this is Chinese, so we got to be careful for it. Not me, Butchka. I've never seen that occur, says Byron. I don't get why they halt for after 10 minutes. Well, yeah, they do that. Timothy hasn't. Tame Panda has. I wonder if maybe it's just like it happens, Riff. Shout out to Boat Dog. I've seen, what's it called? The news pending open up at random times. But that kind of we know, right? But I've never seen volatility halts. I don't know, man. Anyway, something new every day, baby. Anyway, Joey, we're halted down 1053, and the top is showing 1021.
All right, man. Good stuff there. We talked about this not too long ago. We're just going to wait for the second entry here on the SpaceX short. Now, I talked about the price action being relatively weak in regards to the 5-minute candle. So you can see how we have volume step in and the strength within these 5-minute bearish prints. And then on the way up, there wasn't enough volume supporting it, making these price action prints significantly weaker. And I'm like, okay, as long as we continuously reject the volume weighted average price, it's going to give me a green light to engage once again. And sure enough, that's exactly what we did. And we're fortunate enough to be sitting in this one right now. And what I will do is remove half. And then if we do get a break of this 1321, yeah, we're really starting to cook up right now on this one. So let's I mean, we don't want to pull the trigger. Okay, no, never mind. It's all good. I said we don't want to pull the trigger too quick. We'll take some off right here, just below $13. Now we'll leave the remainder for a move up to north of 1310. Yeah, I mean, hey, man, we were patient waiting for the rejection on this bad boy, and then we're just still sitting in this slow grind on NVDL. This is attempt number 3. The unfortunate thing about this is the smallest size here of the day, but hey, it is what it is. We'll take it. You can see that we're clearly going to be rejecting this zone right now. We're not there just yet, but I think at some point there will be some form of a pullback, but this is what we want, the low of the day on SpaceX, and then a VWAP recovery here on NVDA. Let's head over and see what the SPY and the Nasdaq are up to. You can see above the volume weighted average price here. I think at this time of the day, what you want to do is try to eliminate some of the noise, get off the 1 minute time frames, maybe head over to the 3 and the 5, whatever you're comfortable with. But it does, considering things are a little bit slower at this point, it does help to eliminate a lot of the price action. And guys, I was talking about this last week. Last week we did a lot of tape reading when trading the small caps. This is the time during the day for the large caps where it makes it significantly harder to read the tape, and that's where I go off of price action, because there's so much in between and the order flow isn't necessarily as clean in my opinion, and obviously off of my observations, which can be subjective at times. All right, I guess all of them are. But anyways, $773 looks like almost a double top lower high right here for the SPY as it's starting to creep a little bit lower, and then here's the Nasdaq moving to the downside. Now listen, this might be a hot take, but I don't think it is. I'm sure some people could probably agree with me on this front. I don't know if the Nas, I could be totally wrong, but I think the Nasdaq and NVDA make all-time highs roughly around the same time. All right, even though we're only a couple percentage points off, it's only a couple of days away. So 3.6% on the Nasdaq, and then about 4 or 5%, maybe even a little bit more at this point for NVDA. All right, so 7% right there. So yeah, there it is. They will make, in my opinion, all-time highs around the same time. Neil, Sharif, love Trader TV. Your thoughts on ANET?
ANET? Yep.
Yeah.
Just watching WYHG here because it's holding support. It wants to clear 7 again. Oh, sorry, 11. 1094 seller here. Can't shake the seller at 94. Look at that level 1 on the top. It hasn't moved above 94. 1111 now. Does it hold 11 on the bid? It looks like it is. There's a buyer stepping in at 09s. Let's watch. Just get to that super in 1 second. I want to see if there's more to be had here on WYHG. We could be, possibly on the way to 15. Down goes into 1020. 982 limit down. 982 limit down. There's a buyer at 1040, 10.5. If it goes, it's probably going to go here in a bit of a sporadic way. So continuing to watch. If we can throw that super back up, Assassino, let's take a look at the super, and we'll cover that for him. Oh boy, it's going to limit down here. West Palm Beach trades, man. I want a house in West Palm Beach, man. Shout out to you, brother. Neil, Sharif, love Trader TV. Your thoughts on ANET? Thank you very much, first and foremost, for the $2 super chat, and thank you for the nice comments. Let's bring in Joey, shall we? The side chart here, and look at where's that side? There it is. There's a single one, Joey. Let's look at ANET. Get out of here, fly.
Yeah, I
ate
ate
having
one.
any of my food.
I ate one this morning.
You're going to tell people about that, huh?
I don't think it's too bad of a thing.
You should have seen it when he came in.
It was disgusting.
He was like, yo, I just ate a fly, man. The first thing that came to my mind was George Costanza in Seinfeld. He's like, he's panicking in the restaurant. He's like, I ate a fly, I ate a fly.
So gross.
What could happen? He starts going up to random people, like asking him, he's like, am I going to die? I ate a fly, right?
Dude, I took a sip. So I take a sip of my coffee this morning, and I'm like, yo, what the heck is even that?
What the hell is even?
And then I'm like, I spit it out. It's a fly, and I'm like, oh, I almost vomited. I had to get out of here.
That's what I said. I told him, Juan Padilla, I'm like, yo, man, it's entirely protein, right?
It's pure protein. It's pure
It's a
protein.
delicacy in
Yeah,
some,
but that's
some cultures
disgusting.
there, Joe.
Well, I pulled it out. It was only the body and one wing, so I ate a wing, a fly wing.
He had the wing. Oh my God.
Which was like, yeah, it was not a good time.
I'm not gonna tell you something.
What?
I'm gonna leave it. I'm not gonna mention this piece of information
Why?
because I think you're gonna get really disgusted if I tell you.
But tell me.
I can't.
Well, you can't just leave us hanging like that, man. I think I just ate a fly, so I'm sure I can handle it.
So in the cultures where they do eat insects,
Yeah.
they remove the intestines and
Yeah.
the other areas because they have dung within the fly.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm not that grossed out. I think, dude, people eat crickets
But
like
they
their
take out
snack.
the-
They rip the head off and it pulls out all the
pulls out everything.
intestine.
Look at that one, Joey. He's on the chart.
ANET.
I think it's telling me ANET is
Oh,
a buy
the
at 170.
fly.
Look at
Yeah,
that fly.
there
on
he
the-
is, man.
He's
The
on the
fly.
chart. He just
The
broke
fly.
through highs.
The fly indicator.
The fly indicator there. Man, get the hell out of here.
There's
Okay,
a
let's
lot
take
of
a
them
look at
flying
it,
around
ANET.
here, though.
All right, guys, let's get right down to work. So ANET, to me, there was a lot of resistance here at around 185. You can see kind of the resistance between 180 to 185, and we cleared that. To me, I want to use that 185 level. 180. Let me take that back. 185.90. Because we clear it decisively, right? We get up to 225. We lose 200, which is not good in of itself, but it's holding prior area structure. And this is the structure that I'm looking at right here. This area high. It's a very pronounced high. It used to be all-time highs, right? Before we took it out into 225. So it stands to reason that if 225 was to sell off, well, number one, I would have been looking for 200 support, but that didn't happen. The fact that it's holding up here is good news. Now, what you want is you don't want to see this lower high, lower high, lower high. You definitely want to see the trend to change. So you want to see higher lows and then eventually possibly higher highs through 200. But I think this is a key area of technical support on Aritzia Networks. I like this area here. I've never bought the stock, but if it is to lose, I would say 180. Then perhaps you may want to set up. YJ is open and it's ripping up. YJ is going here, guys. 420 high. It's going to limit down at 371. Watch out if you're going to buy here because the limit down is awfully close to the current price action. 80, 76, 75, Joey. We're going to halt here. 71 limit down on YJ. It ripped up into 420. Now it's going to initiate a halt parameter into 370. It is all the way up, then all the way right back down, man. So YJ bamboozling the best of us, man. Let's hang out here, see? Okay, so we did get the limit down there on YJ. So just to bring it back to ANET here, I would say watch out for the loss of 180, just because that was a key area top before that 190 area. So let me know how it goes. I think Aritzia Networks is a good company there. And
it is. I watched the interview with, I believe it was Kramer and the CEO not too long ago.
Oh, yeah, on Mad Money? Probably after earnings, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it was after the earnings. It was after the earnings report. And, yeah, I liked one of the.
You notice like they all like to go to Kramer. Well, okay, Kramer's a big name. I'm not trying to crap on Kramer. That's not my intention at all. He's obviously a big name, but do you feel like they like to go to him because he throws them softer ball questions?
Of course, obviously. What do you think? Would you want to go to the person?
He doesn't grill too hard.
Yeah, he will make some solid points like, hey, I don't like this, but for the most part, he does obviously lean towards the more positive side of things, right?
Speaking of CNBS, your favorite there, Deidre Bosa.
Yeah, Deidre.
She's gone.
Where's she going?
She's doing her own thing, 25 now.
No way.
Yeah, her and this other woman are starting their own thing. I forget her name, but she tagged her.
Oh,
on X. Yeah.
She's like
after this, whatever, 8 years or 10 years or whatever it was at CNBC.
Yeah, she's good. That's all right. She's in She's in the Bay Area.
She's in the Bay Area. She's Canadian, man.
Yeah, she is Canadian. Oh, wow. I didn't know Deirdre was moving on.
She's gone, Joey.
All right, then. Pepe the Frog eats flies all the time, says Pepe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he does. Bang, bang, bang.
So does Trenda. Oh. Trenda eats frogs as well. Trenda the Trading Turtle. Where are the glasses here that we had for Trenda the Trading Turtle, Assassino? Make sure you know that the lights don't bother his eyes there, right? So.
All that, yeah.
There you go, John.
Yeah, so shout out to Deirdre. I didn't know she was leaving.
Yeah, brother.
I mean, I'm sure my girl Kelly's going to be staying there as well.
Kelly Evans?
Kelly Evans. I like Kelly Evans. All right, aside from that, here it is, right? We talked about it. We're going to post up at 1330s for our last little out here on SSPC. NVDL finally starting to cook up a storm for us. I mean, we're not crazy from a size standpoint, but what we will do just for precautionary measures is we'll take a little bit off in this momentum. So that's not a horrible play whatsoever. See, considering, right, smaller size, you have to hold it for a larger move. Man, oh man, this would have been the play for us right there, and then for us to re-engage once again. But so far, we can't complain whatsoever. Ooh, volume stepping right back in here. So let's see what we got going on. Any news? I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. I have to get off of this chart and see what's going on in the Nasdaq. If there's volume spike there, then it can totally be, it can be a completely different story is what I'm getting at, but no, it doesn't seem to be the issue. So, hey, just some price action, a little bit of volume stepping in, and sellers, it seems to be the case, Sharif.
Yes, sir.
Right there, $220, bang, rejects once again. So I mentioned this being a resistance zone, and it's clearly acting as you see the selling pressure start to kick back in on this name. Before we send it over to Sharif, let's pull up our options chain on this bad boy and see what we got going on. in regards to NVDA options. Now, there was 56,000 contracts at a specific zone. I just don't remember what it is, but we will momentarily. And I was like, all right, well, that's obvious. There's an obvious reason as why we're selling a little bit. So 49,000 at 225, that's where we've hit our previous pivot high, right? So that first supply zone stepping in at $225, and you can see through last week and even bright and early this morning, we've struggled to breach this level. So that can be acting as some form of a resistance. Something must be stepping in. Let's send it over to a dip.
Keep an eye here on NVDA. Seeing a report here from the Financial Times that Wall Street giants are going to be partnering up here with Nvidia on a $500 billion AI funding pact. These groups include Apollo, Blackstone, Goldman Sachs, and quote-unquote others. So if I hear anything else, I'll keep you guys posted. But apparently, the NVIDIA financing deal could be announced as soon as Monday. Unclear if they mean today, Monday, which is pretty likely, or next week on Monday. So keep an eye, guys. Potentially as early as today, we could get an update here with this $500 billion AI financing in partnership with NVIDIA. Again, they mentioned Blackstone here, BX, APO, got to mention, and Goldman Sachs also got to mention. If I see any more details, I'll keep you guys posted. At this point, just a report here from the Financial Times. Back to you.
Yeah, I was listening to the All In pod on the weekend, as I typically do, and the boys on there were a little bit worried, kind of not about the build out. They get the build out, but they're like, if money dries up from, free cash flow, or if the market just keeps, punishing them for going into the debt market to raise money, like your Googles and your others, then NVIDIA may be kind of forced to come in and to backstop a lot of these, not by actually taking direct investments like we've been seeing a lot lately, but by actually doing what they started doing, I think about maybe a couple of months ago, which is backstopping this as a guarantor. So think of, guaranteeing leases where your name is on the lease as a primary lessor or lessee, pardon me. And then think of, okay, I have to digress. I'm long RDGT here at 101. It just ripped up into 110. I'm looking for more like a psycho. We're looking for 114s, and then we're going to look for 118s, okay? So let's see how this does here. We're looking for a big move on RDGT. It is a $1.21 high. I stop out below 95, pardon me, because I saw a bit of a flat top break brewing there. But I am worried about a lower high, okay? So that 121 area, that's the area high. That's the day high. And so I'm worried about having made this big move, but then this big move ends up being a lower high. And there it goes, options, man. It's taken out all my orders into 17. I'm looking for 18s. It just needs to go a little bit more. There's no continuation in 18. There's a big seller here at 17 that we can't shake. So we're looking for a little bit more, and then we're going to go ahead and wait out 123 for that move up. But just to kind of bring it back, so think of NVIDIA acting as a guarantor in the sense that, it doesn't front the money, but should the company that it's guaranteeing default, NVIDIA would be one of the people on the hook. So the boys were a little bit worried about that, because even though it doesn't change the amount of on cash that you have, so your free cash flow or your operating cash flow, it does change the debt side of your balance sheet. So something to think about there. But I do feel that kind of NVIDIA is forced to do this because they need the build out to continue to go, because they need to keep growing that top line. This is ripping. We got 101s, 121 limit up here. This is the high of the day. It is 121. We're still holding. We still have a couple of beak wetters. In fact, my 123 is going to go unfilled right now if we get the halt. What a move up here for RDGT. This is a Bhavin Patel special, which ended up bamboozling everybody and their mother's cousin. I didn't get into it initially because it failed pretty quickly, but I left it on the side chart. I'm like, let me just see if it goes negative on the day. To go negative, it had to lose 75 pennies. It didn't quite do that. It found support at 85. I'm like, all right. Saw this one moseying up back above the 10 EMA and the dollar. I was like, okay, maybe we can give this one the old community college try, as your boy Joey calls it, the JUCO try. And then, once it got above that dollar, I was like, okay, well, what's the next area of support? I'm pretty sure you can clearly see that there, pardon me, there was certainly a seller of note multiple times at 95, which gave me the idea, all right, Sharif, get in above the dollar and then just give it to 94 pennies. That's a price action shelf right there where sellers were stepping in. Do the buyers step in? should the dollar area get lost and we drop back down to the mid-90s. So it didn't quite happen. We're continuing to watch here. This is a Nasdaq stock, so we should be able to see the tap, but the tap hasn't changed here yet, Joey. Still showing $1.21. Halt time, 12:28.49. Current time. Current time. Come on. Any active stocks here that we can see current time on? WYHG is going to limit up. So it's 12:30.10 right now. So we got to wait a little bit longer on this one. Got a couple of minutes here, Joe.
I like the look of our DGT. Good, nice ride, nice little ride there. This is what I'm talking about, guys. This is why you get out when you're supposed to. I'm glad that we took some off right here, even though it wasn't anything crazy. Boom, we take half off, and then we get stopped out just around the break even here on the remaining 50%. So the NVDA continuously sliding. Hey, head lower, head lower.
Oh, you're gonna buy more?
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I mean, to add to your point, Sharif, I've been standing on that point that as soon as the hyperscaler capex really starts to cool off, then that's going to be probably the green light to step out for a little bit and then maybe just reassess the situation and then come back to the name in the future. But I think it's a long-time play. I think it's a long-term play.
Like, look how we saw it, Joey. Like, look at the progression of the spend.
Yeah.
Like, what we saw initially was they just had so much. I'm talking about the hyperscaler. So much cash on hand, right?
Okay, I'm listening.
It was like, you know, we got all this cash, free cash flow. We needn't worry, right? And then all of a sudden, free cash flow is down, and now it's non-existent or it's partially negative. Okay, and now
absolutely.
Yeah, and now we're not just in negative free cash flow land. We're going into the debt market to raise. Okay, and then we're in the debt market. Now Nvidia's backstopping. Like, I'm not saying this is a bubble. I'm just saying watch the progression, right? You have to be alive to these things. So
yeah, I think a lot of it's gonna fall, and it's unfortunate that what all of this spending is revolving around are two of the names are private companies, so you can't really see the numbers like you can with the public companies, right? So it's like if Anthropic and OpenAI don't need as much compute power, then it's like, okay, you're scratching your head because you're like, what is even going on here? You can't even see the fundamentals, whether they're growing from a monthly active user on a consistent basis, that is. So, I mean, listen, that's where I'm going to stand within this company, and I think there's a little bit more. Like, well, we have all these, the hyperscalers still spending all this money, but I think there's still money to be made outside of the main.
Something's going on.
With the market?
Yeah, the market's moving.
Yeah.
Weird.
I mean, it's moving
Something's
big
gonna
time.
come in
Definitely.
Yeah.
Let's see what USO.
We're waiting.
Let's see what USO is doing.
Yeah. Something's going on.
Yeah, volatility spike in USO to the top side. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's a Donald Trump truth or something along those. Let's send it over to Adara.
President Trump posted on Truth Social less than a minute ago. The second I saw that move, and no media headline, I checked Truth. So, quote, I see representatives of the Islamic Republic of Iran are asking for compensation for the damage done to them during the last 5-month military conflict. In brackets, started because they will not have a nuclear weapon, all caps, close bracket, even though it was never mentioned in any of our negotiations or meetings. But it is an interesting idea because now I am likewise demanding compensation from Iran for all of the people that they have killed and gravely wounded with their roadside bombs in many conflicts, for which they are famous, as led initially by General Soleimani, mentioning a whole bunch of families here that have unfortunately lost their lives, and he also believes those families should be compensated. Additionally, compensation should be paid to the families of innocent protesters that have lost their lives in Iran. I've instructed my representatives to put this firmly into any and all future negotiations. So President Trump basically upset with the fact that Iran is demanding compensation, now saying that he wants compensation from Iran. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Adara, for bringing that. I happen to agree with President Trump. If they're going to do that, then we're, they owe a lot of people money as well, man. I have a lot of Persian friends. And do you have a lot of Persian friends?
No.
They all have feelings about this administration. All of them have been affected some way, somehow. Either, they left their family fortunes there and escaped to Turkey, or, their brother was jailed, or their sister was, on the street. There's plenty of people that give me plenty of stories there. So yeah, they owe a lot of people money too. All right, continuing to watch here. Tap 140. I'm in here at 101. We're halted at 120. It's going to be a 10-minute halt here on RDGT. I'm waiting. Let's see how this trades, Joey.
All right, man. Yeah, what a sell-off day here. Yeah, the volume really starting to kick in on this one. What are we? down 3% on NVDA. That's good. I like this pullback here. I know I've been talking about it quite some time. But yeah, it's going to be a good opportunity. Instead of me just continuously buying high, I get to buy a little bit lower now, which I'm most definitely. There's some structure that I was looking at. So yeah, you can see that we're going to most definitely breach this structure and then head a little bit lower. You want to look for that next pivot, wherever that may be. I've mentioned the teens, the mid-teens is where we can slightly turn around. Might even head back into 210. If it gives back the majority of a move, then hey, it might be a little bit of a different story, but I don't think that's necessarily going to be the case. At some point, the longer it takes, the better for me, for NVDA to hit an all-time high. At some point it will. This could be a little bit of a lower high, which could be disastrous to the point where, hey, you liquidity grab, you get all these people chasing, and then you head back into this void in which I was referring to not too long ago. Right? Boom, off to the races it goes. Oh, we got you. And then you head into the 180s.
Ooh.
But what you want to do is just don't fully allocate. We talk about that all the time because once it's depleted, I think there's going to be a good opportunity to get involved with this name once again. Now, our SpaceX trade has been really cooking up for us. We talked about 1330 where we can take another little bit out here. We didn't quite get there. We'll post up at 1330s, but we removed some here. And then sure enough, starting to pull back a little bit. Listen, I like RDGT. It's looking pretty good. Top 145, Sharif. Wow. Okay, up 20 cents higher. 10-minute halt you were referring to not too long ago. And that's why I mean, that's not the complete reason, but this is why we got out of NVDA. Look how many times this happened today.
How many?
All right, so, well, 3, Sharif. 3 times to be exact. You get a nice little pop, and then, oh, okay, lower high, and then it, boom, puts in a new low. We find the bottom once again. Get that move, no continuation, sell off, put in a new low, and then we were fortunate enough to catch this one. But you put in an additional lower high, right? NVDA really starting to bleed now, Sharif. Something else might be stepping in on this name. I knew as soon as I opened my eyes that we got a gap up this morning. I'm like, watch out for this potential gap fill to the downside. And that's been the narrative here today. That's all right. I'll buy a couple more shares, that is, add a little more funds to the old account. But 34.22 is NVDL. And the momentum and the volume, look at the volume by time profile, really start to accelerate here. This is the largest amount of volume. And I mean, we often talk about the lunchtime hour being the dead hour, but look at it really start to uptick around 12:20 or so.
All right, man. Continuing to watch here. 145 tap. Earliest resumption on RDGT will be 12:38.49. I feel a little awkward saying that now, especially with what that WYHG did to me. It opened up early, and, you know, I had never seen that. But for the most part, I would say 99% of the time, they will be in waves of 5. And if that is to be the case, I've loaded up NVIDIA here so I can see the time in the sales. So we have another minute or so. Yeah, minute and 10 seconds. So 37.49. We're waiting on this one, showing 147 now. Oh, baby. RDGT. Where's Bovin, man? Where is Bovin and Casey when you have a multiple halter going here, guys? And there's a lot halted, like WYHG halted, SOAR halted, YJ halted, RDGT halted. Like, what the hell? There's a lot of names halted. My goodness. About 40 seconds or so for resumption. Still waiting on this monster. Nothing for me to do other than just to wait. 146. I'm looking for a breach of 150. You'll see that I have an order there, which probably won't get filled. So we'll just cancel that order there because it shows that it'll get filled, but then it actually won't. It'll get canceled. About 18 seconds or so. We're showing 30 something here. It's going to flip to this once it gets to 40. RDGT could be a 10-minute resumption. Now we get about 10 seconds or so till that. Top 145. Let's see when we get the resumption here. Do we get it? Boom. Okay, good. There we go. Got the top on that. Continuing to watch. Nothing for me to do. Looking for a little bit more. How did I get out of both? How did I get out of both? Oh, my days. Okay, so we got the top there. Area low is 135. Looking for a hold of 135, otherwise I'm going to add. So if it comes into 135, let's see what it does. 36, 35, 34, it's losing the bid. Okay, so does it fill the gap though? Oh my Lanta. right back up into the $half options, man.
Yeah, I know.
Let's see what
I
we do with
figured it
this
too
one.
early.
It's zigging and zagging,
There it
though.
goes.
Right back into that area. Let's see if we can get a little bit more limit up over here. So let's see what we get on this monster. Boom, into the area high. RDGT looking real good here. Limit up into 161. I'm not going to hold this one, so I did add, but I got out immediately out of the position. I didn't want to hold punching into the high, so I just flattened it out and think that that was the right thing to do. So this was another keystroke error by me. I didn't mean to get out of two parts of the position, but that's what I ended up doing. So we'll see exactly what RDGT has to offer, but we are substantially better off currently than we were about 45 minutes ago. So pleased with the trading. Still not positive on the day, but really knocking on the door.
All right, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I took a little scalp here on RDGT as well from 55 to 61 as soon as it hit the halt. Listen, yeah, man, again, I keep pounding the table about this. Just the ability to read the tape for me personally, once again, this is completely subjective, is so much different outside of the opening drive.
So true.
With these momentum style plays, right? Because we talk about the orders just continuously flushing in the momentum, opposed to when you're just sitting in the middle of the day with what's going on. NVDA over the past 15 minutes might be a little bit different of a story, but if you go and look at the Nasdaq or the SPY, SpaceX here today, it's just a lot of chop on the tape, and it's not as distinct as it would be from via momentum. And this chart isn't really doing any justifying the trade, but here. There it is, boom, 150, waited for this. And this is a question I've been asking myself. So this is a gap up into a halt. Now, how much typically of the gap up gets filled before price may or may not turn around? And that's what I was waiting for, price to turn around, the tape display this up, and boom, off to the races. Now, I remember, Sharif, you might like this. So many years ago, which is crazy to say, I think I was about a year or two of trading. Okay. And there was this arbitrage play within Tesla's tape. And let me know if you guys have identified this. So what will happen is on the tape, you'll see a price that is insanely different. So I don't know where the orders were coming from than what was actually being printed. And it would be like $1 or $1.50 above or below. No, it wasn't dark pools, man. It's just right out of the opening auction, whatever was coming in. Say Tesla was trading at $200, you would see $199.25 printing on the tape, continuously flushing, or 202. And there's an arbitrage play. So if you had the ability to catch that, you can catch the trade within the momentum. And there was a trader that I used to watch all the time who would do this and say, look at the difference between what price action is displaying and what the tape is displaying. And he would catch the momentum and just go disgusting size. And then as soon as price hit what was printing on the tape, he would get all out. Yeah.
That's
it
crazy.
was really cool.
What kind of exchange?
Dude, it was
like that's a mistake from the exchange machine.
No, it was a continuous thing. I don't know what it was. I don't know what was behind the scenes, but it must have been something from the night before. So this was way before Blue Ocean, or I shouldn't say that got more popular, but overnight trading wasn't as popular. But yeah, there was an arbitrage play from what the tape was displaying and what actual price action was showing. Yeah, it was cool. And dude, it was on like it was on a DAS, and everything. Yeah. So the time and sales is legit. It's not like it was some fugazi or anything.
Like I have never dealt with that, but I've been caught. Like I've been stopped out on a dark pool wick before.
Yeah,
right. Where the dark pool, like it didn't actually have that price at that time. You know that dark pool probably came in hours earlier or even before. But that's my closest, I guess, scenario to what you just described.
And I wasn't even, like, I'm not saying I'm great now, but I didn't really understand what was going on with the time and sales ad. But then I just started to watch it, and I would run replay and be like, yo, what is this arbitrage style trade? And sure enough, this guy would make killings off of that. So, RDGT, not too bad of a look, just a nice little scalp via the tape on this bad boy. We took a couple attempts on some of the other smaller cap names, but couldn't really get anything crazy going aside from what we just got there.
All right, brother.
And SpaceX not doing too much.
SpaceX, yeah. We bought some of that today, man.
Oh.
Yeah, we're out of the money on the ad, Joey. But you know what, man? I hadn't added.
Just keep buying.
So yeah, exactly. I don't buy that much and that aggressively, but I'm liking a lot of what he has to say. And I think, if we realize some of the revenue targets that he says, and things never really happen on exactly the time frame that he articulates. Then I think we'll be good. But yeah, SpaceX going to be adding incrementally into. I'm continuing to watch here. RDGT. Resumption time 12:49. Sorry, 12:44:44. Oh, okay. What's the current time here? 12:40. It should be in seconds here. Let's see what we get. If it's going to be a 5-minute resumption. There's a fly here, guys. We're open. We're bleeding down. Here it is. Let's see. Does it find support? I can't quite see what limit down is. It's 124 here. 125 limit down. So this screen doesn't have the thing. So I have to add them on. I do apologize, guys. I'll just save it on the other screen. Then I'll load it up here so we can have it on all the screens. So what we do, just go over to this bad boy here. Go to stock window. Save as default. And then we're going to open this monster window over here. Load default. There we go. Apply. Okay, so this one should show me the top next time around. So RDGT, limit down, 125. Limit down time, 12:45:04. And now the top is showing 117. If it opens at 117, that will have been a loss of the $1.20 area resistance. So look at that area right at 12:05, 12:10, or sorry, 12:05. We got into that 120 area, rejected, went back down to 90, and then that's where we kind of limited up at that 120 area where we got involved at 1. So RDGT breaking trend here, but if it holds 120, it could have some support, but right now showing top 117. Scott, 340. Sharif, Joe, we'll handle that fly for you, bro. Don't worry about that. Man, you have no idea. Like, and the thing is, we came from the weekend. Nobody's here on the weekend, so we figure, you know, you left these things on their own for 2 days, they're probably dead. No, there was more of them. So they probably dropped eggs everywhere, Juan, and they hatched, and here we are. So that's kind of the problem there. So RDGT, the only one that I'm interested in at the moment. Nothing else is really doing anything. I want to mention, though, FSLY. I didn't trade FSLY. Thank you, Juan. I was up there with this fly swatter earlier when I was on the big desk with Adira, and I was like 0 for 3. So maybe we can get a dub under our belt today. But FSLY, Assassino, it had some good support here at 26.75. It had a consolidation area at 26.75, but here we are about 20 pennies or so lower than the high of the day at 27.63. I was thinking this one could see 23 by the end of the day, but it's a bit of a slower mover now. So yeah, shout out to Dragos. Yeah, man, I don't know what they're up to on the weekend, man, but there was more of them when we came in here Monday morning than there was on Friday afternoon. So I'm just making an educated guess. YJ is open and it's bleeding even more than it was before. It is now a 12.76 candle low. Limit down is 269. Sorry, I said 12. I meant 275 candle low, 269 limit down. Hasn't even done that many shares, man, because it's been halted for so long. 2.4 million shares, and here we are again in another halt parameter at $2.69. YJ now decidedly negative on the day. It lost that 340 area, and then it went negative. So, yeah, this one is going to lose a spot on the side chart momentarily over here as we look for something to trade. And as I always ask for, guys, and you guys always oblige, and I do appreciate that, any small cap gappers that I haven't mentioned that are breaking out, you know, above the pre-market high, above the volume weighted average price, please tag Joseph or I. Let us know what it's moving. SCKT Case says I look, man, let's go. Shout out to Case, man. She's on Instagram now, man.
She never had it before?
No, I don't think so. You wouldn't be able to tell, though, it was her.
Why?
Because it's a hidden account.
Oh.
Yeah, you can't really tell it's her.
You didn't want to hit the follow? Can you send a...
Of course I hit the follow, bro.
Can you hit a friend request or
yeah. Well, yeah, I did send a friend request and it got accepted.
Oh.
Yeah. So
right.
shout out to KC526.
Casey, don't do it, though. Get off the gram. If you were never on it.
I don't know if she was never on it. I think she was, but like the account is inconspicuous.
Oh, all right.
Get it, Case. We love you, girl. All right, man. We're looking here at SCKT, a KC526 call out. Let's throw in the ticker. CKT. Let me go over here. So a nice downtrend break, Case. It was certainly putting in these very, very obvious lower highs that were respecting trend, but here we are trying to mosey on back into that 190 area. Get it, Case. A move above 12, sorry, 2. I don't know why I keep saying 12, man. I do apologize. 230 gets me involved in this trade. So I'm going to go ahead and throw my alert at 2.25. So we're going to go ahead and put that because this is an area high to me. Take a gander at the 945 candle. That was the opening of the limit down. We tried to break through that again at 1030 and it failed. And then it bled its own blood all the way down to the low of the day at 138. So if it can get above 230, then I'm certainly interested. Otherwise, I stay away. So TT Mass saying, let me throw this one on here, though, because I do want a CKT. Let's look at the one TT Mass calling out, OFAL Assassino. Let's look at that one. OFAL ramping up into the 75 penny area. What was this one doing, TT Mass? Was this one napping? And then it just decided to reawaken there, man. It popped up at 5 a.m., popped back down, dropped back down, I should say, into 505, then did nothing volume-wise until this last candle here at 1245. So OFAL, the ticker. Going to keep my eye on that one.
Wow,
thank you, TT.
It's going to halt up now.
Who?
RDGT.
I like it, Joey. Let's
So,
have a quick look at.
What's up, Kevin Mendoza?
Get it,
You guys-
Kevin.
Yeah, we love Kevin.
We're gonna halt here at 138, Joseph Options. But guess what, man?
What?
Still below that 140 area, Joey. So I'm gonna steer
Yeah.
clear of this one until it gives me a little bit more here. But we get into 162, we can start talking too.
162?
162 is the high of the day, right?
Trying
Look
to-
at that out on the top there, my boy.
Yeah, well, it was right into the
Okay.
halt. It was right into the halt band. I'm like, all right. I seen it halt.
exit.
I'm like, let's just get out, just in case, right? So, yeah, here it just in case. 520. But no, in all seriousness, guys, same thing. 1272. We get a little bit of a move. We're waiting for 30s. We weren't fortunate enough to get it. Then it started to head a little bit lower. So that means SpaceX up. SSPC to the downside, all right? So
DNR.
a couple of good trades, but just not hitting target the way we want, 50% up here. So that worked out. We just went over RDGT, how we were waiting for the tape to turn around, sell off a little bit, things turned around, boom. See those orders
Boom,
just
boom,
absolutely destroying the ask, and we're like, all right, good stuff there. Let's get involved. Little small size bomb, off to the races we go on that bad boy. Where did our hits really come from here today? It wasn't this. It was actual SpaceX to the long side. I told you guys that we were trading this, but man, you're gonna see a new low. Raising debt, Street not gonna punish NVDA. It seems to be the case. Get him, Sharif.
I will, bro. We're ready to go here, man.
Don't distract.
Piece of crap.
All right, we catch those with chopsticks. But here it is, guys, right? So with SpaceX, we try for the long there, get stopped out. We get a nice little scalp, and then it comes back to our break even, all right? So those were our attempts and our trades here today. SPY not really doing anything. A lot of sideways price action, guys. We've been trading within this $4 range here, even less, $3 range on the Nasdaq, but a couple of strong sessions. Expect things to cool down, and this is the only major average that hasn't hit the all-time highs in the past week. All right, so just keep an eye out. Eventually, it will decide to play catch up, in my opinion, or it might not and sell off before it does. Either way, I'm going to be looking to buy some more of the top holding and the largest market capitalization company on the planet. That is going to be NVDA as it's starting to pull back. Man, worst case scenario is that this is just a failed attempt at the all-time high, right? And then you head a little bit lower, you fill up into some of this void here. And same thing with price action going into the 180s. As soon as the support level is broken, that's crazy. As soon as the support level is broken at 190, I do believe you'll see like 80, 85, 80, 75 area, which will be even better for me because it's cheaper at that point. Sharif, if you didn't know, 185 is cheaper than 217. So just in case you guys were curious, in quick maths, if you want to grab something.
You
and
say
that means-
maths?
Maths.
That's crazy.
Maths, because that's what they say in the UK.
Yeah, man. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, maths is crazy.
pulled that, eh?
Some of the language over there is insane. But anyways, here's Taiwan
car
semi,
park.
guys. Yeah.
It's not a parking lot, Joey.
Selena
It's a
says
car
that, and
park.
it's like, yo.
The
it
car
drives-
park?
Yeah, it drives me absolutely. And the lift.
Oh, how about wash-up liquid
the
or
lift?
wash-up soap? They don't
never
call
heard
it
of that.
detergent.
The wash up?
It's called wash-up
The
liquid
lift,
or wash-up
the lift
soap.
drives
or
me
whatever.
nuts.
Lift, yeah,
Like
yeah.
the elevator. It's like
They
come
say
on,
that in
man.
Egypt though, so
Do
I
they-
kind of
do
got
they-
used
so
to
you can
it.
get
Yeah,
behind.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can get
Well,
behind
I
that?
never say it myself, but
Listen,
it's the elevator.
if I'm gonna take any words from any
The
lingo,
boot.
it'd probably be UK slang. That's for sure. But
I like both.
I mean,
We're a lot more closer to American slang than we are to UK slang, though, wouldn't you say?
you think?
You
No,
think
man. You know,
we're
I
more
think
close
like
to
I think
UK?
Toronto
Think so?
slang is like a mix of patois and like the UK thing, right?
Well,
like
the UK,
yeah.
patois, I definitely get behind there.
Absolutely, yeah.
But I also find a lot of the UK slang is patois because
Yeah,
it
'cause
has
they-
such a
'cause a
large,
large,
Jamaican immigrant community,
yeah,
right?
it does, man.
But now more African immigrants, I feel like.
In the UK?
Yeah, like a lot of Nigerians. When I was studying there, I met a lot of Nigerians in the UK. A lot of Cypriots too, man, in the UK that come to study. I didn't know
It's
that.
right there though, isn't
Well,
it?
it was common law,
Yeah.
so that they got common law still in Cyprus. So they come and they do their law degree.
Man,
in
imagine
England,
trying
and
to
it's
go.
transferable.
Imagine trying to go to the bank and you can't, or like the ATM and you can't take any cash out
They have a different system than us.
in Cyprus. No, remember when they went through that great
Oh,
financial crisis?
you're talking about Greece.
Yeah, and Cyprus
11.
as well,
Yeah, that
too.
was the
Yeah.
Euro crisis, man.
Yeah.
I remember that. Greece caused a whole bunch of problems for everybody there, man. Yeah, guys, I don't have anything at the moment. We're still watching RDGT here. It's showing 141 tap as we get closer to resumption. Halt time 12:50:40. So current time, we have about 7 seconds or so. The tap is moving up here pretty aggressively. Watch out here, looking for an open. Here we go. Seller looking for a move up. A seller at 49. Trying to spot the buyers and the sellers. Equally important to look at the bid. Limit up. Can't quite see what limit up is yet, but do we have support? We have support in the mid 140s here. So let's see. All right, let's see. No, it's not going to hold here, Joey. So we have to get out.
A lot of selling pressure there.
Coming in again. Let's see if we can hold up right around this area. Looking for the move up. So I can't quite see what limit down is because we're still a bit far away from it. So I'm going to send this to you while I keep an eye on this, brother. Yeah.
All right, guys, I got the exact same thing going on now. Let's just keep an eye out on the tape. We can make this a little bit bigger for you guys. Now, my entry is based solely off of that. And as Sharif was talking, I'm like, oh, yeah, you can see the seller. And you can see it identified, right? Now, we don't have enough time here. But what we want to see is a couple of clean flows. See, boom, boom, boom. When I see the resistance really start to kick in on this thing, like I don't even have to show you the chart. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's selling. So what I want to wait for is some clean waves. They're starting to step in. There it goes. There it goes. Bang. Let's see if we can get some continuation. But there clearly is a seller, and he's pretty hefty, to be honest with you. There he goes again, Sharif. Uh-oh. We don't want to, yeah, exactly. So we want to see him step away. 154. He's really crushing it, smashing the bid there. 154. Can it be lifted? Now printing 55s. But yeah, this guy's too big, and I'm not liking the look of his gym as we start to sell off a little aggressive there, Sharif. So a couple clean flushes there. It goes above the ass. 61s we're printing now. What, we got 59s, nothing crazy. We want to see a break of the high of the day, and if it doesn't happen, there it is, printing 54s. This trade might be gonzo. I don't know if we're going to get any form of continuation just yet. I didn't see the clean PA that we were looking for. Regardless, we'll see if it's going to work out for us or not. If not, we're just gonna, printing 49s. Yeah, so that was a no-go zone on that one. So let's see. We won't give it up. Once it breaks 140, then we'll just get out of Dodge on this one. And unfortunately, it didn't work. So we'll give some back, but nothing crazy. Started relatively small, and if things turn around, then by all means, I think we will have the opportunity to punch through this 170 marker, maybe go on a little bit of a run. 107% to the top side. Let's keep our eyes on the tape. Sorry, guys, I have it up here, but I want to keep it on there. There it goes. There it goes. Give him his money.
We added
RDGT.
into 150, looking for a hold at 150. There it goes, 59, 63, boom, into the high. Looking for more, looking for 69. 66 limit up, here we go.
It is limit.
We're gonna limit up here, boys and girls. All right, boom.
Did you take yours out on the house? You're holding
we took
through
it in from 52. False halt.
False halt.
It's bleeding, we're out.
Wow, what an out, bro.
Man, I got all excited. I'm gonna hold.
Yeah, you thought, you looked away.
I know, that's amateur hour right there, my guy.
Before you actually
that's amateur hour right there, Joey.
Crazy.
Looking for more here. I can't quite see what limit up is yet. It's in the 70s, I do believe. Can't quite see it yet, but there's a buyer here at 60, Joey, of note. Let's give this one the old college try. Let's see where we get on this. We're looking for a little bit higher than 66s, looking for that. There it is.
Oh,
now I'm
there it
back
goes.
in here, guys. So looking for the continuation here above said high into 69. There we go. No continuation though above that. Posting at 73, 66 now, 67. Limit up is 69. Okay, so we have to move above that in order to continue on here. So I just exhausted all my shares, so I'm going to add back into this. I don't think this is done quite yet. So let's post and post a little bit higher as well. So we have 66s on there, which is not the best price, of course, but we definitely have to ride trend with this one. So continuing to watch. Out here below 51, looking for a little bit more, man. Looking for a price spike up into $0.75. It's 69 limit up, but we're steady state putting higher highs and higher lows, at least on the 5-second chart, but there's no continuation into the 70s quite yet. And there's somebody selling here at 65 generally. So we'll see how this kind of ends up going. But if it loses area low, and area low to me is 51, I'm out. I will have to get out of this. So going to continue to watch that, Joe, as it comes back in. 53, looking for a hold up around here and a possible move back up into the 60s. Let's see if we get that. And then we'll post them out right there. I had to because it broke for 50. So even though it did flash a little bit above, I had to get out there because, well, it did breach my area low, but it is holding the $0.50. Now it sets up in a bit of a tricky way because we lost area low at 51s. Now I have to actually wait till it gets above 69 to get in, because if I try to ride trend, I could get pulled into a bull trap here, especially if it breaks above like 60. And that could be a bull trap. So look at it at 50 again. It's continuing to find buyers at 50, but it feels like it's going to break down. Yeah, it is breaking down. So good instincts there. Nothing to do with this one. Limit down, 141. Here we go. So it looks like it was going to limit down there, but it false halt limit down as it moves right back up. I'm not going to trade this one here. I don't think this is the right trade at the moment. Let's see if we can set up a little bit better. Right now, there does seem to be a buyer at 140 because both these 5-minute candles have a low of 141. So if that buyer at 141 continues to hang out, then maybe we can get back in. But for me, I'm going to stay clear for now.
All right, man. Good stuff. There's a question. Casey. Thank you very much. Man, true, beautiful human here. Ebony, Acoil, Fiaz there, Tickus, Moto Dense, LV. Congratulations, you guys all just got a Trader TV Live membership, my friends. So congratulations to you. It's an ongoing occurrence. This is something that just happens every day. So yeah, I mean, as for this name, RDGT into the false halt, Mike P, Casey, I hope you guys are having fantastic days. Same thing, right? Waiting for price to turn around. We see it in the tape. It was a little bit tricky. It comes against us a little bit here, guys, but then eventually it got that pop. The volume most definitely kicked in. And then right into that halt band, we get out. Before we send it over to Adara real quick, we're going to have some breaking news. Do you trade with the time and sales? Start voting now. Yes for 1, 2 for no. Let's see what the whole chat's got going on. 1 for yes, time and sales, guys. I'm going to put it in there. Let's send things off to Adara and get those votes in.
We just got an extension here from U.S. President Trump of the U.S. Jones Act shipping waiver, but they've also narrowed its scope. So apparently this new 90-day extension is going to be entirely limited to energy, commodities, and fertilizer. With that in mind, MOS pushing to the upside again. The new Jones Act waiver extension for 90 days focused on energy and fertilizer. Keep an eye on names like MOS. I believe NTR would also be in this category. It's not really moving at all. And of course, it goes without saying USO, which is currently still near intraday highs. Back to you.
Limit down. RDGT. Halt price, 141 halt time, 13:02.55. Tap 136. This does have support between 120 to 130. The halt levels are all at 120. So this flat top break over here, the triple top originally at 120. And then, of course, the high is 169. But why I say 120 to 130 is because we have the 10 EMA on the 5 showing 130, but the halt levels and the triple top, to be fair, 120 triple top. So nothing for me to do right now. I'm going to continue to watch what this one has to offer. I'm not interested in trading it, though, given its limit down. But I want to bring your attention back to SCKT. This is the KC 526 call out. It was trading into the area lows at $1.38, got back above 150, Now it's straddling the volume weighted average price as resistance right around 190. So it's showing 187 now. $2 will be an area of import for SCKT, but to me, I don't get involved until we take out that topping tail candle high at 1030, the high of which is 231. So maybe around that 2 1/3, we'll get involved. Now I have put my alert at 2 1/4 just so I had advanced knowledge of it should it make its way up. But you know, this one for me, it's like, you could tell I'm just like grasping at straws here, looking at something like SCKT. That just gives you an idea that the small caps today, they're all kind of turning back. YJ, WYHG, all the other ones that we called out, SFTS, XHLD, and the PCLA, so SOAR, they're all dropping. So the fact that I'm looking at something like this just gives you an idea that we are a little bit weak. SCKT, get it, because it has C and K in the ticker. Yeah, I do like it when tickers have the letter CG, so I can completely get behind that. What are you looking at, Joe?
Why is that, Katie Dancer? So yeah, the time in sales, whatever it may be. 24 saying no, Sharif. 16 yes. But I mean, some people swing trading, buying for the longer term. But again, do you trade with the time in sales? Do you have it there? Put your votes in now, guys. 1 for yes, 2 for no. Let's see what the majority of the individuals are doing here via trading. I'm curious. I didn't see what
ABCL.
Casey and Bovin are up to. Yo, what's up, No Loon? Okay. The game, all right, that's interesting. Thanks for sharing that with us. Aside from that,
the singer or the rapper?
No, the gamer that games. Says likes to.
The gamer that games. He's doing what he needs to do.
What he said, and I'm like, all right, thanks for sharing. I'm not gonna read it out loud, but I appreciate it. That's for sure. Now, guys, I mean, here it is. RDGT definitely.
Happening?
What? When he said, yeah, I don't know, man. To each their own, right? Like, I'm not gonna hide it or anything. We'll show everybody what he has to say. But hey, man, keep on gaming and doing your thing. So here's SpaceX, not doing anything right now, guys. Maybe a potential breakdown, but I mean, we had a high of around 225 here bright and early this morning with a slight gap up Friday or this pre-market. And into the close yesterday, 225.55. We reject that, Sharif. Now we're trading about $8 lower from that previous. So hey, I like that. Maybe we'll hit the buy button. But I already used up my buys for today. Sure, no, I'm joking. I didn't. But I did buy a little bit more around 223 this morning, and then probably closer to the end of the day, I'll probably grab a couple more here and just keep boom, 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 and keep grabbing more until eventually it's just like, nah. Actually, now we'll never stop. I can't stop, won't stop on this bad boy. So let's see what else we got going on, ladies and gentlemen. We'll head over to our watch list, run through a couple of names. Western Digital up 2 1/4, Sharif, just in case you didn't know. SpaceX down about 4/10. Apple down 2.15%. I mean, how far are we off of the all-time highs? 11.5%. Nothing crazy. Might find value. And I mean, listen, I talked about this within Google.
Okay.
If there's any name that you can buy on the dips, it's this one, in my opinion. Like every time it just dips a little bit, whether it be like 8% to 32%.
Greg Abel?
Off to the races to go 21%. Yeah, buy it. What did Greg Abel or Gable do?
Yeah, well.
I don't even know who this person is.
He's the guy that took over Warren Buffett.
Oh, yes.
He was punching.
Oh, Google.
You saw how,
that's out of,
they got now?
No, how many do they have now?
It's one of their top 5.
Oh, right? Really? Top 5?
Yeah.
Do you know top 5?
Of course. Well, dude, the guy that defended him, Gary Grill.
Yeah.
I worked with him, bro.
Oh, really?
One of the top criminal lawyers in the city.
Wow.
Man.
I used to see top 5.
And you know that Drake paid for Gary Grill.
Probably. Well, that's why he's top 5's doing all this. What he's doing now.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
Doing what he's got
shout out to Gary Grill
going on. But no, continue. Yeah. So I mean, that wasn't Warren Buffett's MO to buy some of these tech names aside from Apple, I guess. So
well, it is a little bit of a different take, right?
Most definitely.
I don't know. Uncle Warren's not exactly known as a growth investor. He's more of a value guy. But hey, I mean, when he sees an opportunity, he sees an opportunity. And I happen to like Google. It's funny. I've never actually owned Google. Never bought one share of Google ever in my whole life. Maybe on the show, but never in my personal account. So Yeah, I
You
really
think that's a
would,
name
brother.
that you would look
Yeah.
to get involved with?
I really should be getting involved with that, but
You
and
grabbed
I
some
haven't really
Tesla,
set up anything. I have
Tesla
so much exposure, brother.
to
Right?
tech.
I have Uber. I have Apple.
Yeah.
I have Tesla.
Yeah.
I have SpaceX. I
Yeah.
have Nvidia. Like, how many more Mag 7s am I going to take, right?
All of them.
No, that's the Qs, right? So I buy the Qs. All right, continuing to watch here, guys, because RDGT is open. It's kind of holding up at the area that I mentioned. That 130 area is continuing to act as support. It's above the 10 EMA. Didn't quite make it down into 120. Let's see if this one can mosey on above the $0.5 level again. So I want to mention that to you guys, but I also want to mention that SCKT. Is this limit up? Oh, it's not updating on my side charts because I didn't put it. I do apologize. There it is. Limit up on SCKT. 198 limit up, right? Top showing 199 now. Halt time 106.51. Current time is 110. So 110.04. So we're waiting for another minute and 40 seconds or so on this one. We'll keep an eye out on that. But those are the ones that I'm interested in, man. SCKT, RDGT. How's RDGT doing at this level? It's still hanging above the 130. An ugly topping tail candle just closed prior bar. So let's put in that RDGT. So prior, already lost prior bar. 126 limit down here. 27s. There's a big buyer at 27, defending it for now. Back into 28, 29. So 126 limit down, but there was somebody buying there. So I think that is volume weighted average price. Yeah, in fact, that is 126 is VWAP on RDGT. Moving back into the third of $1, but I'll submit to you it's still a downtrend. So nothing for me to do here. I'm not jumping in here until we get a clean take of 150. You saw those topping tail candles go into 150 and reject. So what's the point of trying to fight all those short sellers or profit takers? Let's take them out first, and then we can have a bit of maybe an unabated move into that $0.75. That is the high of the day, 169. So 150 is my entry point in the same way that 225 is my entry point on SCKT. Mimi Palma, ABCL, curling near pre-market high. ABCL. Good call out. TT Mass did call that one out. Thank you both for calling it out. And here it is, right into 970. This could be a triple top here, right? An ascending wedge pattern, possibly to give you 10 or more. Why do I say that? Look at that 715 area high, 980, right? And then you have the implied balance open at 945. The high is 975. And now you have a current bar high, 974. This is essentially a $0.75 triple top here on ABCL. And that could lead to an ascending wedge pattern breakout, or what we call a flat top break, ABCL on the NQ. Here we go. Big seller at 75, but it looks pretty good, man. Up 41% on the day. I'd say, look, if this doesn't take out 75 in a decisive way and you can take the breakout trade to 10, then you're looking to buy here into about 9, maybe 940. That's where the 10 EMA is. So if it does dip down, it gives you some area lows, build a position for a possible flat top break. That's all predicated upon this level not giving way right now, right? By the way, SCKT is open. 218 limit up on SCKT. 218 limit up. Watch out for a big drop on this one. A loss of $2 is trouble, but 218 limit up right now, Joey, SCKT.
Good stuff. Oh, sorry, I was looking at the wrong expiration cycle, but yeah, Castro, we're going to pull those up right now. You said the 177.5s. Yeah, let's pull those back. Oh, my God, you absolutely ate there on these ones. Nice look on these, brother. Seriously, good job on that. 42 cents, so right around the lows here, and then you just go to a high of around 786. That's cash money, if you ask me. So I seen 77.5s. I can't find where it is. Maybe it was a little bit a while ago, but on this week's expiration cycle, I've seen it around 1,000%. So nice work. 77K so far, give or take. Listen, man, give or take. Listen, they expire next week. You know this. It sounds like you know what you're doing, so just be cautious and look to lock in some of that cash and make sure you have an exit plan. I think that's something extremely important, all right? But fantastic job. I haven't seen my boy Travman in the chat. Is Travman or Gorev in the chat today? Los Polios I might have seen in the chat. Hope you guys are all having solid ones. But here it is. The two scalps there on RDGT. We were talking about SSPC as well too. Metro PCS. There it is. That's American.
Great,
I don't
yeah.
even know exactly what it is. But anyways, aside from that, 2 entries on this bad boy. We finally got that warrant. There we go. How's the day going, Gorb? Let me know if you've seen anything. I know you were trading Palantir last week. What did you end up taking here today? But anyways, aside from that, what was I about to pull up? NVDL was another name that we got working on the 3rd attempt for us. But not only did it tank, it took us 3 attempts for us to get rocking and rolling, and this was definitely the smallest from a position sizing standpoint on this one. It comes back, we just get out of dodge on this bad boy, and then sure enough, boom, flush city, flush city. NVDL is rocking. Yeah, I mean, after it bottomed out, think about how much it's selling. We were looking at this not too long ago, Ricardo, where it took me 3 attempts. So I used my full at-bats on this bad boy, and with the last one being the smallest size, it just didn't help my risk to reward and eliminate some of these other losses that we endured earlier in the day. So other than that, we're just sitting on our hands right now. The Nasdaq has been moving eastbound. Same thing with the SPY. The financials weren't horrible today. We had CrowdStrike and PANW hitting all-time highs, and then the banks, JP Morgan in particular, performing relatively well and almost running into all-time highs once again. So a solid session from JPM.
All right, man. Looking for a defend of area low on SCKT that goes into 194 territory. We did get a price spike up into 210, no continuation. I have 4s. We did get some profit takers, but we're very much locked in to a bit of a range. We have lower highs, but we also have higher lows currently on the 5-second chart, so a bit of a compression pattern. And somebody keeps selling at 5, so we'll take out the 5 seller. We'll go up to 8s, 10s, and then the 5 seller will show up again. So there's an algorithm targeting 05s here as an area of resistance, and they're pretty convicted, or they have conviction in their 5 position. So yeah, I see ABCL. I just have to focus on this one for a sec because, you know, this one is moving pretty aggressively and it just does require my attention. I won't be able to jump to others. Now there's a seller at 8s. So you're putting in lower highs. I don't like this at all. It has to resolve above 10. Otherwise, this is going to be trouble. Look at the 8 seller here again. So we're still putting in lower highs. Even though that 5 seller does get taken out, there's no continuation. So looking for that move above 10s to see if we can take out some sellers because that's the local area high, right? So we got to that level at, you know, 115 on the dot. So now we're unable to take it out. So, and why I'm looking at 94s is because that's the area low. That's the 1303 low. So here we go. We're going to get stopped out here. If it continues to bleed, there we go. We get stopped out. So we will give back some there. Doesn't hold. So 192 limit down now. It looks like it's going to halt down here on SCKT. Tough one there. Tried to get in a little bit more size for a break through the high. So that's cost doing business. Let's look at ABCL, see what this one is up to. So ABCL did take out the top. Should have been focusing on that. Got right into 10 bucks. So yeah, should have been focusing on that one. That's the $10 high as we speak. So that does break through that 975 selling area. Good look here for ABCL as SCKT recovers again. And there's that seller at 5. So if we can get above 225, I think I'm going to take my shot there on SCKT again. Otherwise, I just stay clear for now. C is not in the house today, so we don't have the news segment, but, you know, maybe in about 10 minutes or so, we'll start another one here. We'll just talk quickly about some of the major headlines. Just going to give you a brief as to what to expect today, possibly for some earnings reports as well after the bell. It's a light bunch, but I'm going to keep my eye here, Joey, on RDGT, SCKT, and let's not forget, of course, ABCL.
All right, man. Good stuff. Palantir, 68% off of those lows, so looking pretty good there, ladies and gentlemen. USO up 6% here today. Any continuation after the couple of volatility spikes, you can see 123 is where you get that pullback. Volume really starts to step in. Cooled off a little bit here. Lele, there it is, USO. And then sure enough here, we're trading at a high of around 125 bucks. Man, at some point, there's going to be a good opportunity to get involved with some contracts. And I mean, I'm talking about buying some of these out of the monies. It's just going to take a lot longer than what I am anticipating, to be honest with you. But at some point, we will see this within this neck of the wood and give back the majority of this move here. Now, HPE got the upgrade this morning. nice curl over, right? Like a nice inverse turtle shell right here, and then boom, off to the races it goes. And I feel at this pace, when we see underlyings start to make this move, I think it's, I mean, justifiable to say, hey, we're gonna push for that all-time high. Otherwise, unless it's a complete bull trap, why are you moving up there? And we've seen a couple of examples where you do run into the bull traps, but as to where this specific price action pattern works, there's Amazon once again, guys. Marvell, negative 2.2% on the day. A nice little rebound off of the lows, but we're still down 36% off of the highs. Intel, how has that been performing? High of 140. It did go sub 100 to 81 bucks, getting cut almost in half to the tune of 42%. So a little bit tougher of a look there. And then DRAM, a name that I believe we might even see some more lows. We talked about $45 being our next base and our next support level. Let's see if that holds up. But the buying pressure really, really weak, and the volume cools off. We're still down 38% over there. The quantum names, I just feel like that's a space that hasn't been hot for quite some time. Coinbase continues to get beat up and not doing very much. This thing's down 60% plus off of the highs. Yeah, 63 to the tune of what? I don't even know why I have CoinL on there. It's not worth anything at this point. $4. Robinhood back up to 93.78. We're up 0.9% closer to 1 here. And I mean, there's a name that got cut in half at one point as well too, right? Like you're down more than that, 59%, going from a high of 160 bucks almost to down to $62. Ouch, that's for sure. Now BMNR and Ethereum, how has Ethereum been doing? Yeah, I don't know what's going on. We're gonna have to probably wait until 2027, mid 2027, maybe even 28 before we see some additional rallies here in some of the crypto spaces. So I mean, tough look, but hey, Salesforce is up 3%, finding a bottom, up only down 26% off of the all-time high, so not too bad of a look there in Salesforce. Reddit, oh, actually Adair brought us this, Netflix. Is there going to be any follow-through in Netflix after we had that volatility spike and the volume start to kick in? Comes back in a little bit, but hey, $75 there on Netflix in regards to their ad revenue, I believe, going to be doubling of 2026. It is going to be an ad revenue giant, in my opinion. I've been saying that for quite some time.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Amazon, too. Don't forget about Amazon. One of the fastest growing ad revenue giants. All right, we're doing well here. Okay. Long, 209, caught in an up halt at 222. Tap showing 223. Got cut up on this one, though, as it did lose trend, but it regained trend pretty aggressively. This is make or break time case. And the reason I say that is because it's right at the alert area that we put on the black charts here, because this was that 2 1/3, 2 1/4 we were talking about. So this is the area of resistance that we couldn't clear, both at 9:45 and then again at 10:30. So let's see if we clear it now or what the situation is going to be. So SCKT here in focus. Top showing now 225. So we'll pack the patience. We'll see what we get with that. We took some nice profit takers on the way up, but still packing the patience here, looking for a bigger move. 226 now. The top on SCKT. Nothing else going on here. Just go ahead. What's up, Joe?
No, same thing. I like the way SCK. Oh, nice. You're caught in that from 209 from $2.09. Yeah, nice. I like this curl over. I like this curl over here.
She sees 226. You're right, Case, because it just updated because it changes every second. 226 now. I know you like the number 26, Case. I get it. I totally get it. But yeah, there it is. $2.26 top. Let's see if it continues to move up. Maybe it'll get into the third of a dollar. So limit up right now, SCKT guys, up 474.98%. But guess what? Oh, that's crazy, Case. That's crazy right there. Guess what? SCKT, yeah, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
SCKT is actually down since the bell rang to the tune of about 9.75%. So yeah, we've definitely been higher, and we were talking about that pre-market high that we still haven't cleared. So see how it goes. Jerry 125. What does that mean?
I thought it was scripture, but it's not. I think she was mentioning to somebody saying that when it's not halted anymore.
That's crazy.
Jerry 125.
Because we were talking about Seinfeld moments ago, right? Yeah, that's it. Joey, everything's breaking down kind of right now, man. Yeah, you got RDGT bleeding its own blood. below the 10, below the 20. WYHG, this is my biggest winner. It's also kind of lost trend.
Yeah, I don't.
1270 highs, trading at 17 now. YJ looks like a Christmas tree. It's an early Christmas for all the shorts there. 420 high, now trading at 239. And there's others that have lost their coveted spot on the side chart. So we've taken off. But I can just see, they continue to bleed to the side there. ABCL, let's not forget about that one. That one did reject 10, but to be expected, the rejection of 10 that is, because it was a ascending wedge pattern that had 975 resistance. Now, what I would say to you is look for that kind of 960 to 980 area to hold up, right? I say 960 because the 10 EMA is there on ABCL. There's that fly again, guys. ABCL. And I didn't even really realize this. ABCL's been running since Friday. In fact, it's been running since Thursday. This is a multi-day runner. It had a bad day on Wednesday on the 5th. The 6th and the 7th were good. And then the 10th today, the biggest day it's had in a while. So we'll keep tabs on that for you. ABCL is the ticker I'm talking about there. Watch for a hold, though. I already saw it dip into 970. And it got right back up, bought right back up. But if it clears that 1001 high, then it could be a good one. But for now, I stay clear. I wait for resumption here on SCKT. The halt time is, wow, that's huge. 121.13. And the current time, have to find one that's not halted, 125.21. So we still have about, another minute and change on this one, Joey.
All right, man, good stuff. We'll watch that. Pull over to
App is dropping though into 23s here.
Yeah.
Hey yo.
Hey yo.
Hey yo, Lewis.
What's up, Dragos? What's up? What's going on over there in Chicago? How was the weather over the weekend, man? I love Chicago, great city. All right, guys, let's say it.
Chicago, and in Chicago, I feel it. Another version of me, I was in it. Wasn't it? Like something about Chicago on that?
I don't even know what song you're singing, my guy. I just go with the flow. It's open. RDGT is open, but it is south of the volume weighted average price. This one might be it's rainy as hell. They say, all right, yeah, we're supposed to get a little bit of rain here today. So yeah, I mean, listen, we're south of the volume weighted average price now. I don't know how much I'm gonna love this one, Sharif. Are you? No, you're in stacked. Oh, no, I want that one. Or socket, sorry. Yeah, I know. I wanted to get involved with that. Let's pull it up here. SCKT and see what our boy Dragos has got going on here. You don't want to say pull up in Chicago, that's for sure, Shreve. Here it is. Let's see if we can get any form of continuation. Starting to sell off right now. The tape is not displaying what I want it to. So other than that, maybe we get a break of $2.20 on this bad boy. I do like the momentum towards the high of the day break. All right. So fire. Did you get some off on that open? Oh yeah, you were in got
out the highs, yeah.
09s.
Yes, sir. But it's defending here.
It's gonna go now.
And continuing to watch, flipping to the 5-second, 226.
Oh, it's gone. Oh, I missed it.
There we go. Limit up is 233.
Okay,
limit up 233. Looking for a pullback. There we go.
Go on stack now.
Not bad there, Joey. What do we got on this? Looking for 8s and 9s. Let's go ahead and wait just to below 33 as well. Should this one limit up? 27 seller, 28 seller. Are they going to kill him too? Let's see if he gets murked. We've got 25s here, way smaller of a position because I'm not getting in at the high and then giving back everything I just made on the last trade. Big 25 seller here. Can't shake him. Watch out here. Big seller at 25. They're stair stepping down. 25 seller, 22 seller. If you don't get somebody to move these out of the way, we're in trouble. Here we go into 16. So trend should hold 10. If it doesn't hold 10, that is trouble. Continuing to watch. Let's see if it holds 10. A move back above the quarter dollar changes things here. There's a seller at 10. I'm watching. Let's see if we can kind of move back up. 17s, 18s. Big seller there. No continuation though, Joe. So let's see if 10s hold up. If 10s hold up, it's kind of bullish. But if 10s fail, then, we're probably going to limit down possibly into 2. So taking small positions here, guys, looking for a move back above 20. But right now there's a big seller at 13 to 15 that we can't shake. So keep your eye out on that.
All right. Good stuff. $2 super chat from our boys on fire today. Question, wobbly pops.
It's just so slow.
Oh, yeah, it halted down.
It's so slow.
Halted down there, 205. on this one. Well, it could be a false halt here, Sharif. We've
It's
seen one
just
of those already.
so
Yeah,
slow.
false halt there. False halt. Couldn't hold that one, but still selling off a little bit here. We tried a little scalp on it. Didn't work for us for that break of the $2.30 marker. Didn't happen for us. But we got a $2 super chat coming from our boy, Mike P. DeRider. Oh, price is turning around there, Sharif. Uh-oh, there it goes. It might get going. We're going to try one more time on this bad boy to see if this rocking a clean flush on the tape, and then we're in this one. Sorry, Mike, we keep passing up on it. We're going to get to it momentarily. I just want to focus on the tape right now to see if this is going to give us a nice break, and then maybe we can head into that $2.50 marker. That would be the ultimate dream. As Sharif got his thing going on, we got SCKT on our corner right. Wobbly pops, question mark. No, Mike, it's 1:30 on a Monday. You got to save that stuff for the weekend. All right, here's another attempt. We're involved in this. Let's see if we can hold. There it goes. Bang. Attempt number 2 happening to work for us. 24s printing 34s. Uh-oh. Halt. Oh, no, it's not, actually. I'm looking at the wrong tape.
Yeah,
Hello.
it's going to halt.
It's going to halt. Yeah, all right,
we're
let's rock and
ripping.
roll. 223, we'll take
got a
that
bunch.
one.
Yeah, there.
I mean,
Look like
nothing
triple the
crazy
size.
here. It's printing
Triple the
233s.
freaking
Sorry, not
size, man.
23s. Yeah, let's go. Bang. Let's see if this halts. Oh, there it is. All right, 5 minutes. Let's keep our eyes on the tap. But wobbly pops, it's too early. And it's Monday, my friend. That's what the weekend is for.
All right, man, we're back in. Oh, my Lanta. All right, good trade on this one. Looking at moving a bit higher now, but we know what happened with the last tap. It was quite the bamboozler. 233 limit up, tap showing 234 halt time, 129.59. So essentially, we're going to open up right at 130 at the earliest. Casey dropping 10 membies. Oh, my Lanta. Wow. Avi, the Hayes Records, AQ Larkin, Babe Firefly, the Junkyard Dog, RJP, ALG 190, 33, CC 33, Saw. I can't say your name, bro. Sorry. Mark Saucy, SK Scon 27. All of you guys got free Trader TV Live premium memberships thanks to the very generous woman in the chat known as KC526. We thank you so much, Case, and everybody in the chat for obviously participating. And if you want a free membership as well, you got to know, you got to be in the chat, right? Otherwise, if you're not registered in the chat, you can't get a free membership. And if you want to sign up, want to pay for your own, just hit join below this video. But thank you very much, Case. Again, always doing it live, always being very, very generous as usual. So SCKT, we got in here a little bit below the $0.25 at 23s. It's halted at 33s. The tap is still showing the same, but this could open up now. We're still holding a good amount here. We scalped pretty aggressively into the highs there. I do believe the best print on the day for me there was 33s. So the high of the prior bar, ironically enough, is 34. I didn't get 34 because it didn't cross. So up over 500%. You got to assume now there's going to be a lot of eyes on this. We took out that 230 area high that we kept rejecting, 945, then again 1045. So we get there, we could see that official high of the day, which is 279. But we saw what this one did at 905, right? In the pre-market, it got to a high there of 397. So we're still like well below that to the tune of almost $1.60 now. So keep your eye on that. And then we're also keeping an eye, of course, on ABCL as that one continues to hover around 10 bucks. Look at this. It feels like it really does want to break that $10 area with your ultimate stop being below this area low. It's say at 970, maybe 969, Jose, right? So if you want to put your stop there, that's the area low. But if it breaks through 10, you just do your chart analysis on the daily or the 4-hour, see exactly where the next major area of support for ABCL is. But it's looking pretty good, man. Nothing to complain about there. But we're going to keep close tabs here on SCKT. Now the tap showing 2, 3, 4. Neil, have you looked at MP? What are your thoughts on that? What are your thoughts on that? Because are you waiting for the 50? Is that, yeah, I know exactly what you're waiting for there. Okay, yeah, all right. I get what Neil's doing there. All right, yeah, because MP, is substantially out of the money, and now all of a sudden, we're back in the money, not by much, and I don't like to be wishy-washy. You know me, man. Like, I stick with my trades. with
Buy
conviction.
some more. Buy some more.
I didn't though, and this thing was just at $40.
And it's
It's just that to me, it just makes like the technicals they always decide, right? But to me, the fundamental kind of angle here.
So why?
Well, the fundamental kind of angle is that you have the states absolutely desperate to have their own supply of critical minerals that cannot rely on China. And then when you look at who's available to actually do that kind of work, like this company not only extracts it, but they refine it.
Yeah.
Vertical integration is almost unheard of outside of Chinese companies. And so it's just like, this has to be the one. But the market, it's been exactly.
Yeah,
it's been
slacking it.
And I don't know.
I mean, it's on a nice little run here, man. Honestly.
Yeah, but look at that. Isn't it coming in at
Would you say your average price was $40?
No, I didn't buy at $40.
$40.
I did not buy at $40, which I should have been doing.
I still think you have a good opportunity to buy some more, man, because
what do you think?
The way this thing is looking is like you might head back towards $75 here.
I don't know, man. Yeah, I think we got to get through that 60 first. Look at that 60.
Oh, it's open.
It's ripping. Let's see. Here we go.
Go.
Okay.
Go.
No, it's not
No,
giving
it's
me
not
any
going.
orders.
Yeah, I know.
Just doesn't. Even give
Oh, it went. Wow, what a bamboozle, man.
Here we go.
Oh,
ripping up.
Oh,
I
you
got a
dog,
bunch.
you.
Yeah, I'm gonna hold. I'm holding. I'm holding into the limit. I've got 23s on. 49 limit up. Watching.
Oh.
Okay. Down, here we go. Looking for continuation now. There is support, guys, at the third of $1. Don't forget that that's the halt level. So there's support at the third. If it loses the third, get out. Like decisively loses the third, or add into the third here, right? That's a halt level. Those are always intraday areas of support and resistance, okay? So I'm continuing to watch here. Let's see if we get another attempt at the third. I've got 23s on. I'm packing the patience. Are we gonna reject that 40? What's the high of the day? 52 now, limit up. Big seller at 43s and 44s. Can't shake that seller there. Yep, here we go. If it loses 33, I'm out. Buyer at 35, so they're buying at higher areas now. Remember, it was a 33 buyer, then it was a 34 buyer, 36 buyer now, 37 now, moving up into 38s. In the same way, we see that stair step down with the shorts, equally plausible that it happens with the long, and that's what we're seeing, 43, 44. No limit up into 52, packing the patience. The tape is really teleporting here. Look how quickly the price action is moving. But if it loses 33, I really do mean it. I'm out. Into 45, big seller at 45. Can't shake that seller. It's a 52 limit up. It still hasn't changed. Now they're selling lower, though. So I feel like this is going to break through. Just trying to pick it up at the right area here. If I add, I can just, get out below 33, which is what I'm doing here. That's what I did, like a psycho, Joey. So let's see, let's put some profit takers there and then a little bit above that 50 area. But if it does lose 33, I'm gonna flatten out here. So we're seeing people sell at lower levels, but we're also seeing people buy at higher levels. I don't know how this cookie crumbles. It feels like we might be on the way down there. Now they're selling at 38s and it's getting really tight here. The spread's tightening up, I should say. 36, 35, it's gonna lose bid, out. Limit down, 222, watch out for that. So, $0.25, if it loses 23s, that is a lot of trouble there. But I didn't like the way that it just failed there. Put in lower highs, so I'm out of that one. Did well on it for however long it lasted, but we obviously left some money on the table as we didn't get out at the highs. But continue to watch SCKT here. It hasn't been bad to me. So.
All right, man. Good stuff. Please be good to me. Someone put something in the chat here that I wanted to read. I forgot it now, but that's okay. We'll figure something out. I mean, guys, we tried a couple, and then we get out. This one was a break-even trade, and then it decided to go on for a nice little rip. So SCKT, definitely interesting. AUUD was definitely hot this morning, and then it just turned into a complete dud. Unfortunately, and just once these things hold below the volume weighted average price, I find for an extended period of time, it's just like this is where Louise probably shines. I don't know if he's in the chat or anything along those lines, but if he was shorting AUUD, boom, to the downside on that one. Now we're getting that slight curl over here in SpaceX. There's a potential double top here, ladies and gentlemen, right? Like right below the volume weighted average price, you can see there's a clear resistance zone right at 133. We looked at the options chain to see if there was anything involved there. And then, I mean, the Nasdaq and the SPY have been a pretty choppy mess, if you ask me. This is where I would just get chopped up, right? Because it's not like there's a definitive direction, even though eastward is. It's just so much more difficult. Like if you try to play a breakout on a day like this, you're just getting rinsed, right? Especially if you're trying to buy the top and there's no follow through on the volume. And that's been the narrative of this session in the Nasdaq. It's been sell city here over there in NVDA, which is, I mean, it sucks, but hey, boom, let's grab a little bit more around the lows and continuously build some. Try not to watch the P&L too much, but hey, can't help it when I wake up every morning and the first thing I do is look at to see how the market is performing. I could just tell by the P&L. Here it is. Let's pull up. Sharif, we don't even talk about this name anymore.
What's up?
Bitcoin, 36. I know you guys were talking about it here earlier today. 36.16. Man, oh man. I mean, we started selling in October of 25. So we're about a month and a half away, a little bit more than that, until it's been a year of straight lower highs and no participation, very weak rallies to the top side, and no continuation, frankly, in Bitcoin. And I stand by the case, you're not going to see any new highs in these names until the boss man himself decides to find any form of a recovery. So here's Ethereum, 36.18. Bang, 61% to the downside. A nice run last year, but that came to an abrupt end.
Okay, $half seller here. We've got 38s on, big seller at 50 and 48. Super choppy, lacking in continuation. 50 seller showing up again, big 50 seller. Look at that, nary a print above 50. So yeah, we're gonna have to pack the patience, but you could see an aggressive price spike up, and limit up is 54. Look, now they're selling at 47s. So be on the lookout there. We definitely need a break of 50 to kind of keep the trend going. Watch out, they're selling lower and lower now. 48, looking for a little bit more here. Just want to see if this can clear 50. It can't. So let's pack the patience. We're going to send you to Adair with news.
More comments here from President Trump, or rather True Social post from President Trump on Iran. This came out a couple minutes ago. USO here still at intraday highs. President Trump adding to his prior post on the U.S. seeking compensation from Iran rather than the other way around. He's saying, quote, also with respect to the Iran negotiations, Iran should be responsible for the damages and death caused to the people of Lebanon, Syria, Yemen, and Gaza. President Donald J. Trump. So more calls here for compensation for other countries from Iran, courtesy of U.S. President Trump. Back to you.
Thank you very much for that. Yep, out near the high at 47s. Looking for a little bit more though. Just worried about the rejection of 50. It's a downtrend right now, but if we get a 50 break and take, then I think we could definitely be on to something here now. By the same token, it is putting in higher lows. So 240 could be support. Let's see where the buyers step in actually, rather than trying to guess on the 5-second chart. You can see a buyer here at 42. They can't shake the buyer here, and there's more size coming onto the gateway. Let's see if 42 holds. It's holding for now. It's ascending again. Seller at 46, 48. There it is. Okay, looking for a little bit more. 53, 54 limit up. Not quite making it up there. So back down it goes. So let's see if this one holds up. Above the $half, we've got 48, 53. They keep selling at 53. We can't shake the seller at 53. Man, there's a seller everywhere, bro. 52, 53, 54, boom, 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 boom. Taking out all my orders. Looking for 56s though. Nothing coming in. 55. Why am I looking for 56s? Because it's limit up. No, man. Wow, this algo is really fighting this, Joey. Out. Oh, my days. Out. Limit down. Good trade. Okay, definitely made a lot of that back, but gave back a little bit there on the stop out. But hey, still positive on it, profitable on it. Good look. Jeez Louise, that's a thick trade, eh? Look at that.
Yeah.
It's just like everywhere. Can I show you the 5-second chart?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look at this.
Oh, man.
So you're moseying up and then
Mr.
This is a 5-second chart, not a minute chart, bro.
Mr.
That's just
Mosey?
like you're there at 256.
Yeah.
And then you're at 229.
That's crazy. Yo,
Go ahead, Joey.
Keep doing what you're doing and give me a couple of seconds, okay?
All right.
I want talk about how it moseys down, Mr. Mosey, Mr. Mosley. Anyways, aside from that, let's see. Oh,
Sugar Shane Mosley?
Sugar Shane, baby.
Sugar Shane. I don't know, man. What do you want me to say about Sugar Shane?
Yeah, you like Sugar Shane?
I do like Sugar Shane. I like the what was it, round 3 or 4?
When he,
with,
you know what Floyd said to him?
What'd he say?
You're gonna have to kill me.
Well, bro, can you say Floyd is not lying? I saw Floyd go down once in his career, and it was a flash knockdown. It was flash. There was one guy, I forget his name, it was early in his career. I think he was still at 130 at the time. He was at either 130 or 135 at the time. And he got flash knockdown, and he got right back up. I seen Zab Judah hurt him.
During his
I seen, yes. He did get flash knocked. I can pull it up for you on YouTube. I seen Judah hurt him, and I seen Mosley hurt him, and I saw Maidana hurt him. Those 3 guys hurt him, and he never went down with any 3 of those guys. So not only is he super fast, but he's got a chin because he's taking on guys.
He's always had a chin.
Yeah, man. Bro, I thought Adrian Broner, man. Adrian Broner was like a fake Mayweather, man. He had the shell, but he never had the heart or the commitment of Floyd, man. Floyd would train 12 10-minute rounds. 12 10-minute rounds. He kept having to bring in different sparring partners 5 and 6 minutes through because they couldn't hang, but he could. Like, Floyd was serious. What's going on there? What is that?
Bro, I got a new button.
Let's hear it. Is that why you're
No, well, I need to hit it at the right time.
All right,
that's what I was
ahead.
saying. Go on with your spiel about
well, I was,
the thing.
man. What do you want else from me, bro?
I panicked. I couldn't get it done properly. But
yeah, I saw Byron. I saw Broner. Me and Joey saw Broner. And it breaks my heart to see the dude like that, man. Even though I was never a big fan of his because he's a little, he's not my kind of guy.
About billions, bro? Come on.
What do you mean?
That's what he would have on his trunks.
No way.
And, yeah,
about billions?
About billions.
Oh,
back in the day. Yeah.
I was never a big fan of his. I did like that he fought out of the shell.
Yeah.
So,
that was his thing. But you know what, dude? I watched a lot of AB. I watched a couple of his fights. I'm not even gonna lie, it kind of sucks, man.
Broner, Adrian?
Yeah, my friend really, he kind of sucks, to be honest with you. I think he just was the opponent when he fought the good guys. He never won against them, right?
Yeah,
so his style, he was more like he was a counter striker, right? Like he wasn't really
exactly.
And I didn't really love what he had going.
And Floyd could do both.
Floyd
could initiate the contact or he could counterpunch, and that was.
And he had a chin. Shut up.
And he had a chin, man. And he always came with a game plan too. And the thing is about Floyd too, you almost knew that he was willing to give up 1, 2, and 3 to kind of read you, to feel you out. And then he would just take over 4, 5, and 6. It would just be completely different, right?
In my opinion, the most technically skilled boxer that I can recall in my time is Vasily, obviously.
Lomachenko?
He's the most
he was the most awkward.
He was so skilled, and he perfected the art, man.
So here's where my top boxing guys.
He beat Teofimo Lopez.
I agree. I never thought that Teofimo beat him. I never thought that. But my top guys for boxing skill, I'm going to start with the heavier divisions because I like those better. Roy Jones Jr. Yeah. He is one of the best boxers I'll ever. He's just gifted.
He was gifted.
He was clearly gifted. Then you obviously have to say Floyd Mayweather. Right? And then I'm going to have to go ahead and say Terrence Crawford.
Yeah. Oh,
Terrence Crawford. I hate the fact. I love and hate the fact. I love that he's a humble man. He's very humble. I'm talking about Terrence Crawford. He gives Mayweather all the credit. He's like, no, I wouldn't have been able to hold Mayweather's gloves if I was in this generation.
He would be.
I completely agree. I think Terrence Crawford beats Floyd Mayweather. He's a bigger man too, right? But I also like the fact that he's humble as hell, right? And
he is.
So I kind of like both.
But he's also cocky a little bit too.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't. But not in an arrogant, open way like Floyd is.
Dude,
right?
did you see that? Did you see the interaction between TC and your boy over there? Eddie Hearn.
Yeah, what about it? What happened?
Yo, Eddie, he's like Eddie. I would wash every single one of your fighters. There's an yeah. He said it was a while ago too.
That's great.
Yeah, we got a $5.
There he
guy.
is.
One thing Floyd
Get it,
can't
Bubba.
do is read. 50 proved that. LOL. 50, my spirit animal.
It's true. It's
Yeah, that's
true,
crazy,
but I don't
yeah.
want to make fun of him, man. Because
You don't need to read when
that's
you're-
just oh.
You don't need to read when you're on when you're that guy.
Yeah, it's. I remember that, man. I remember the whole saga between 50 and Floyd. What was that? 2014, 2015.
Yeah, with the
when they fell out, and they used to be boys like hell. I remember they put videos on Instagram. 50 be on the Segway.
Yeah.
So why are you on the Segway? 50, you're indoors, man.
And then
Like,
apparently 50 said Floyd owed him $1 million, and then that's when they kind of fell out.
is that how it
Is
happened?
that something along those lines? Yeah.
Ah,
Yeah.
I never really understood what happened there, man. Shout out to Big Spile, man. We love you, Big Spile. You're always mean. That's kind of your thing there. Floyd is the man. Look, Mike, PD Ryder, you got to give credit where credit's due, man. He fights. He knows how to fight. And SCKT's fighting right now, man. It's trying to stay above that halt level. So let's flip back to the 5 because I don't know if this one's done, ladies and gentlemen. Let's flip back over here. So 235 seller, we get above that. I think we can squeeze. There's a bit of a gap between 235 and 245, which would be the next resistance shelf, but there's a seller of note at 35. Currently, if it was to price spike up, it's limit up at 242. So seller at 231, 232, in and around that area. No continuation though, but you could get that continuation in a second as it does drop though. Local area low, I'm gonna go ahead and say is 218. Not that I defend into there. If it loses the $0.25, I'd be flattening out because that's generally where the range is, 235 to the high, 225 to the low. Here we are again at 27s into the area low, 26s now, 20, 212 limit down, buyer at 20. 212 limit down, oh, it's gonna halt down here, man. You're 13, limit down. Limit down 212, we need 10 seconds at this level. Nope, false halt. Right back into that 212 limit down. This is super choppy, eh? SCKT, almost nothing like what we saw last week in terms of continuation. At least, you know, the ones that were going last week, they'd go, and then, you know, when they reversed, you could kind of smell when they were reversing and just leave it alone. It would always be kind of like an upside down V or a flipped V retracement, green on one side, red on the other. So you kind of had the feel for that. But this one is just luring you in, then it fails, and it chops you up. So it's a little bit all over the map right now in small cap gap world. ABCL is at a critical area here. I want to mention this one. This is the kind of the breakout area that we were talking about between 970 to 960. Watch out here for ABCL. If it finds support, it can get back into that $10 area where it rejected 1001 high here, Joey, on ABCL.
Good stuff. Sure, he has the halt bands on his level.
Yeah, what do you need?
A gaming TS. How does Sharif know the stock will hit a break?
I can show that if you
Pull it up there.
So let
We'll
me
get it.
let me see if there's one that's active right now where I can show you. Let's see if source. See that red rectangle right there where it says LULD? So LU means limit up, LD means limit down. You're gonna see those red rectangles on both sides of my level 2, my level 2. So what we call the stock window at real trading. So when we're close to limit down, you're gonna see that red rectangle there on the left side. And that's where you know if it drops into that price, it needs 10 seconds there and then it will halt. By the same token, on the right side of the level 2, if it moves up into that area, stays there for 10 seconds, it'll halt up, right? So that's what I'm seeing. And that's a new feature that the administrative guys here, the programmers for real trading software, they put that in for us specifically. We asked for that. So more thankful we couldn't be, because prior to that, we had to kind of guess when limit up, limit down was taking place by looking at the time and sales. Because when you're in a limit up or a limit down kind of parameter, you just get the same print. So what you'll see on the time and sales, they'll all be 113, they'll all be 112s, and that's how you'll know nothing's printing above it, and certainly nothing's printing below it. We're about to halt. But that's kind of little help on our way to the price. Right? When we're there, we already know, but we want to know where limit up and limit down is. So that's what I do there. And if you're with real trading, it's super easy to do. Right click on the screen on the level 2, click stock window customization dialog, and then right here, okay? So where it says axis color settings, hit plus, and then type in there LULD. That's it. And then you're basically, that's your limit up, limit down, and then you can give it its own colors. I like for it to be red, right? Because I want to be able to see it. No default. Thank you. Apply, okay. So I like to be able to see it, and that's why I put it as red. But yeah, if the screen is on my, or if the broadcast is on my screen, anytime you see my level 2, it'll always be on there. So thank you for asking that.
Great question. All right, super chat. Yeah, bending spoons. Let's pull that up. I'm like, man, what is even going on with this name? A nice steady grind to the top side here.
Top side.
That's Netflix.
Where my keys at?
There it is. Where my keys at? Here it is, man. Wow. I mean, think about it. This name IPO'd, only wicks below the opening price here for a day, bounces, holds this $31 marker, and then now you're almost at 100% return on this thing. Man, really nice look. This is a buy program 101. You don't see this quite often, especially once the volume starts to uptick. There's one red candle on the 5-minute in the span of the past couple of hours. So that's pretty good. What's the 30-minute? And one red candle, and I think this is even in the pre-market. No, it's right out of the open. Here it is on the 30-minute time frame, 30-minute interval. Here, boom, off to the races it goes. Not a single red candle across the board. Now, I was looking at a potential short. Good call out there, Daniel. We like those call outs for sure, especially when it's just like, okay, if you were fortunate enough, see, I don't even know what to do because obviously this isn't a vehicle outside of the IPO day that we trade, but if you can catch the lower end or an open of a candle, the way things are looking is that like, hey, you're putting yourself in the right place at the right time. Now, what was I going to talk about here? Yes, SpaceX. You can see that we can't break the volume weighted average price, but we're stuck in limbo where we have this. I'm not going to necessarily say it's due to the derivatives action within this name, but we're clearly pinned within price. And it's between 135 and this 130 marker in which we were identifying on the options chain for the most amount of open interest on the call side and the most amount of open interest on the put side. So what we have is just an extreme push and pull right now, and you can see it reflected in the overall market. Even though there's consistent lower highs here, you can see them on the 5-minute time frame on the Nasdaq. We have that flat bottom. At one point, a party's going to win, whether it be the Bulls or the Bears. It's our job to wait, be patient, and wait for the volume to step in. Let's send it over to Adair.
Keep an eye on Palantir. It looks like Michael Burry of Big Short fame just announced on his Substack that he is shorting PLTR again. Apparently, he's re-entering the out-of-the-money put trade after IV collapse. This appears to be quoted from the Substack. So again, guys, PLTR apparently being re-shorted by Michael Burry. Back to you.
Burry now short Palantir. Okay. Oh, yeah, again.
Yeah,
that's
man.
right.
I mean, people were joking online like he was probably a margin called.
But he got it.
People were like talking mad smack about that.
He got it. But didn't he say he got around the highs and then he got out in like the 130s?
I don't know.
I
People,
swore he
that's not
got
what people were saying, but I can't personally say that I know.
Well, yeah,
Find out.
hopefully he gets margin called here on NVDA. It doesn't even really matter though, Shreve, because his Substack, like you were bringing to us the other day, makes 160 million. So what is he going to do? Risk like 10%, like 5% here, 5% there. And Neil brought up a good point as well, too, is that like, hey, man, this guy doesn't even really care because it's like he'll put on like 4 or 5 shorts and then he just needs 1 or 2 of them to hit big and then the other one.
We don't know what his price is, by the way.
On
Palantir, yeah.
No, I guess it's relatively new. We know we short 210 on NVDA, so he was $15 out of the money at one point.
So just looking here. Estimated entry range is quite wide, 129 to 190. And then people were saying analysts estimate his entry benchmark put the volume weighted average price of Palantir during the accumulation window near 156 per share. Again, we don't know. That's just all speculation, right? So keep your eye on that. RDGT is making another move here, though, guys. Right back, RDGT. Back above the 10 EMA, if this clears 130, it could be making a move. Now, it is a 169 high, so we have a long way to go from where we're currently trading into that high, but it did hold the dollar pretty well. Now, it didn't hold it strictly. It did dip into 95 pennies, but no closing print south of the dollar, and you have multiple bottoming tail candles as well through that dollar, showing you that people were aggressively buying it. So be on the lookout for that, but I wouldn't, this is not a glowing endorsement to go long here. Just full disclosure, the small caps are pretty tame today. There hasn't been much in the way of, rocketing to the upside, multiple halts. In fact, it feels like the other way, like YJ. No, that's not fair. YJ had multiple halts to the upside as well, equally aggressive to the downside, but just felt like better week last week. So let's keep an eye out on some of these. Hopefully, we're just warming up. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will bring more smoke here. And then Friday, we can take a day off. So I'm playing. We'll be here Friday as well. What do you leave them with a thought, Joey? We're almost done here, brother. We got another minute or so.
Netflix doing its thing over there.
What's it up to, bro?
Yeah, I mean, it had that volatility spike here earlier today. Now it's heading towards some key zones here, right? 75.51. Can we break through an additional trend line break? So we are now officially on the backside of it. Can it hold up a couple of positive catalysts falling under this name? And then sure enough, you get a nice little pop in NFLX. Yes, we are running out of time here. AA, brother, thank you everyone in the chat. Once again, we'll hit the stone cold for you. Casey will do a quick roll call to end the day. No quote to end the day, Shreve, but we will do a little roll call. Computernet, man, I'm trying to work this out. Yeah, you can't compare the two. You can't compare the two, brother. And the best of luck to you as well. Hangry Wife, much love. Juan Padilla. We got KC, Monarchs in the chat. AA, brother. Hope everyone's having a fantastic one. Drew Farrell, Tick R Sim, Taylor Batty also in the chat. Gorev, Los Polios, Blicky, Ozan, everyone. I hope everyone has a fantastic day, as it is time to rock and roll and send it over to the gentleman to the right of us.
Welcome back, everybody. We're into the afternoon session, and well, the Nasdaq is asleep and looking a little bit weak. Nothing too crazy. Still some small cappers moving around here. One lately wants to see if it can move for $1. That's BAOS. It'll be on the volume for sure. But the big thing that's dragging us down today feels like it's been Nvidia. Yuck, down 2.5%, and still kind of unable to catch too much of a